And we already have people in the waiting room. Okay. Okay, so let me make sure the camera, my computer is good. Just wipe it off. It's so much clearer on my phone. And it's actually a good webcam. All right. So we have 14 people already waiting to get into Zoom. Hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. How's everyone doing?
Hi, Jaquita.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm so happy to see y'all. I actually decided to go live on TikTok too. So we have like 30 people on or more on TikTok watching us. And then we have our group here. So this is going to be exciting. Anyone else excited to just get this information and apply it and start making thousands of dollars by helping others work, not even work from home, just get access to work?
Man, I'm so excited to pivot.
Yes, yes. Listen, one thing I know about business is you have to know when to pivot. We have to know when to pivot, and sometimes we get caught up in just being comfortable or jumping outside of our comfort zone. And so we miss our opportunity. And we'll go into that too. I'm just trying to make sure I met everyone in. It looks like we're gonna have a full house, which I love. I wanted to take a photo, but I done forgot my code for my other phone. So I can't unlock it.
You forgot your code to your
Honestly, have not used this phone since I left the States. And so I was like, okay, this is perfect. I charged it yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna take a picture real quick. I don't even remember the code. It's terrible. Somebody take a screenshot and send it to me, right? Send it to me on social media, tag me, something. So so I so we can commemorate the moment because I can't do it, unfortunately. All right. So we have, and hi Tina, hi Rochelle, hi those who are joining us on TikTok Live. If you are here on live and you have and you're following me, you are on my subscribers list, check your email because you can go ahead and jump into Zoom so you can actually see the full training. And in the meantime, while we are allowing the others to go ahead and come in, I want you all to take the opportunity to speak to each other in the chat, right? I see some of you are already going for it. Let's go ahead and participate, right? What I've learned about being not only a coach, but being on with other coaches is that the energy that you put behind everything that you do is the energy that you reciprocate. And so get some energy behind it. We are about to talk about how to make thousands of dollars, right? Connect, network. Let me know where you're from. What do you currently do? Are you an IBO? Are you just interested in staffing and recruiting? Maybe you're at a 9 to 5 and you hate it and you're like, I'm here so that I can get out of the workforce and start helping other people. Let me know where you're at because I want to know. And drop your location so we can see where you're at in the US or if you're somewhere else. I'm in Thailand. Um, okay, Maisha says interested in staffing and recruiting. Tiffany's in Ohio. Hey, Tiffany. Interested in becoming an IBO. I'm located in Maryland. Okay, Lakia, you're in the right spot. I promise you, you're in the right spot. You're going to hear some insider information about the Arise platform, the nature of it, and you'll be able to make an informed decision before jumping in as an IBO. So you're in a great spot. Okay, and then we have Faith Carroll on TikTok. She says, I have a call center in Florida. Love that. Love it. Faith, are you partnered with Arise or do you have a call center where you get direct clients? Then we have Maisha from California, Belinda from Louisiana. I am a teller and I realized how much money is always around me. And I was listen, Brianna, absolutely. Brianna said, I am tired of looking at the money around me. I'm about to get some of it. Monique from South Carolina, working 9 to 5, love it. Former IBO, I'm in Atlanta, love it. Miss Kiva, am I saying it right? Is it Kiva or Kiva? I'm sure you'll correct me.
It's Kiva.
Okay, all right, perfect. Victoria's from Texas. Belinda, I'm working on my call center, but also have hate my 9 to 5. Listen, it's time to fire a boss, right? Today we're going to be talking about how you get to fire your boss and help other people essentially get their boss. And get their dream job. So we're going to dive into that. I want to get out of the workforce and help others get money. New Jersey. Okay. Oh, I'm so obsessed with the chat. I'm missing the people in the waiting room. Okay. So we let some more in. And we have a packed house. We have 38 people and counting coming in. So like I said, I can't take a picture. Y'all take a screenshot for me. Tag me.
I
Tag
sent
me
it to
in the
your inbox
screenshot.
on Facebook.
Okay, love it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, iPhone, update your name so I know who you are, what your name is. Interested in staffing. Tawana, I desire to be my own boss. You're in the right spot. Because if you're here, then you're already your own boss. I need you to claim it and speak it into existence. So in this training, we're going to be claiming a lot of things. We're going to be we're not going to be sitting around, just talking about it. We're going to claim it in real time. So I want you all to reframe some of these things. I'm going to be looking at the chat and I'm going to be having you guys reframe what you're saying, because sometimes it's all about what we're saying and how we're saying it to ourselves. That makes a world of difference. Okay, so we're gonna get started because it's 8:05 and yeah, it's time to go. It's late for you guys, it's early for me, but it's late for you guys, and I want to try to get through as much of this information as possible. So while I bring up my presentation, I want everyone to just check their videos, and let's make sure that we're all on mute so that we don't interrupt anything. And then we are going to get started.
Have pink in it, or it gotta be totally pink?
So everyone just go ahead. We're all adults here, so we all know how to check to see if we are muted or not. So let's go ahead and just double check, make sure you're muted. And then we are going to always be using the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat. If there's something that I missed in the chat, you guys can unmute at that time, just like, hey, you know what? There's something in the chat if you want to check it. And let's see. Bring up this Zoom. Now, when I go ahead and bring up the Zoom, I want you guys to place the one in the chat just so I can make sure that you guys can actually see my screen. Yep, and I'll pin my screen, absolutely. Okay, so I'm pinned now. And I see the ones in the chat, which means we are good to go. All right, and then we still have people coming in. All right, perfect. So all right, so tonight we're going to be going over Recruit, Place, and Prosper. Just move the chat out of the way. And this is well, okay, now that took us all the way to the end. Let's go to the beginning. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so tonight we're going to be going over Recruit, Place, and Prosper. Now, in this, I'm going to be talking about why I ended my partnership with Arise, how my journey started, all of this. So we're just going to jump right in, right? So if you're new here, my name is Jaquita Renee. I learned about Arise in 2021, and in January 1st of 2023, I launched. Now, I had learned about it because my niece was she was employed by an IBO inside of Arise, and they were doing the staffing agency model, right? So if you're familiar with Arise, and you know we do the service fee, and you can either do a flat fee, a percentage of the earnings of the individuals, or you can take off money from the hourly pay. So when she got with that company, they were doing the staffing model and taking off a few dollars off the hourly pay. And when she started, she was working with Peloton, but I think they were only paying her like $8 an hour. But she was super excited. She was like, "Hey, guess what? I get to work for myself. I get to create my own schedule, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "That this seems like a scam." Right. And then they had a team of people that were out of the country. And I was like, this has to be a scam. But then I did some more research. I sat on the information. And has anyone in here ever sat on information and then in hindsight, you're like, I wish I would have really done it the moment that I found out about it. That happened to me when it came to Arise. I was like, this is amazing. I see that. Yes, everyone's there like, yes, absolutely, exactly. So when I found out about Arise, I was like, where was this in 2020? This should have been on like the news or something, right? Why I could have been making a killing. And then if you are not muted, please go ahead and mute yourself. If you just came in, go ahead and hit the mute button. See, let me make sure everyone's muted. So we don't have any interruptions. Okay. I think we got everybody. So yeah, so back to the story. So I was sitting on information and then finally in 2022, I was like, I was just going through a lot. Anybody ever have like the world falling apart and you're like, God, what am I supposed to be doing now? Like I'm sick and tired. Maybe you're in this position right now. You're like, I'm sick and tired of doing what I'm doing now. I'm over it. What do you want me to do in this next phase? Like I need you to tell me. And so I had a conversation with God and he was like, listen, I already told you what to do. I'm not going to keep playing with you. This is how in my head, this is how we communicate. He was like, I already told you what to do. I'm not going to keep playing with you. So I went back through my notebooks and I was like, okay, it has to be the cost center because I did the numbers. I did all the research. I kind of started it, and then I stopped. And then, so I decided in 2022, that was me, got fired. My job started working at Arrive. Yep. See, and I was going through a transition with my relationship. And I was just like, you know what? I'm over it all. Like I'm over everything. I was even, and I've been a business coach, right? So I was like, I'm even done helping other people with their business. I don't want to do it. I just want to do my own thing. What do I need to do? And he was like, you need to do the call center. So I did the call center. I launched January 1st, 2023. December 31st at midnight. This was the post that has the arrow. This was the post that I made. I had did research on how to go viral on TikTok, and I was like, great, I'm going to do a new TikTok. I'm going to go viral. And I'm showing you this because you might feel like when you start something new that you have to have it all together. You need to have a certain amount of followers. You need to all of the things the devil is going to lie to you about. You don't need none of that, right? When I started, I had no followers. I just got started and I was like, I just kept faith with my marketing strategy. It went viral. I went viral immediately. I ended up calling my sisters literally a couple hours after I woke up. I woke them up at probably like 5 in the morning. I think one of them is on here. And she she can tell you, but I was literally calling her like, wake up, I need your help. I'm getting all these applications. Like I got over 1,000 applications in 24 hours, right? I was like, I'm getting all these applications. I didn't have any type of onboarding process. I had nothing. And my TikTok was going crazy. And I was very happy, but it was also very stressful because I wasn't expecting success. And so sometimes when we are starting businesses, we don't actually expect success. And so we delay our results. So I could have made thousands of dollars right off the bat if I really would have been prepared. I wasn't really prepared. I didn't know what to do. I tried to look for a coach in the IBO world, but there wasn't any in there that were to my standard. I will say that there were some in there, they just weren't to my standards. So I was like, I'll figure it out. I've done business for years. This is not going to be any different. I wasn't ready. I didn't have an onboarding system. I didn't have anything automated, any of that. So it kind of delayed my success. I still made massive strides though. So by March, I had 300 plus agents, right? The way that I did that, and this is important because this is the same thing I do no matter what the business is. I discovered my niche. I had targeted marketing and then I was consistent. That was the blueprint that led me to have success in this business and in every business that I do. Because when I created that automated system in the custom software, I literally had to learn how to do that. I had to learn the software, I had to create the email templates and the website templates. And I started to go ahead and use that information and share it with others so that they could start their IBO call centers immediately, right? Some of you are already or have been in the past in my business inbox programs. And you already know that I created and I give it to you guys so you can start immediately. Let's make sure that we're on mute. If you're not on mute, if you just came in. Okay. And so that was how I got started. So how did I go viral? What I did was, and TikTok's algorithm has changed a little bit, but the ABCs of TikTok and going viral is still the same. So what I did is when I scrolled with intention. I didn't just I scrolled with intention for inspiration and also to have trending sounds, trending dances, whatever the trend was, right? So you guys are scrolling, you see the trend, you see that everybody's recreating the same thing over and over and over again. When you see that, that means it's trending. You need to hop on that trend. You need to do something and you need to reword it so that it fits your business. But that's where targeted marketing comes in and your niche, right? But that's how I went viral on TikTok. And that's how I continued to go viral on TikTok time and time again. Because I also built up my drafts. So, and I posted. To be honest with you, I posted. I could tell you all day how to do it, but if you're not going to post, it doesn't matter. People ask me all the time, like, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you do it?" Well, the first thing is, are you going to post? Right? Because if you're not, it doesn't matter. So we have to make sure that we're action takers in this process. So, we got the over 300 agents, right? And then April 2023, I discovered the pledge client and I signed on with the pledge client. Now, when I did the pledge client, it was going into summer months, right? Anybody who has been with the Rise for a while, and I'm in this story, I'm telling you guys kind of the backstory of how I began with the Rise, and then we're going to lead up to why I ended that partnership and what you can be doing now, what I'm doing now. So April 2023, I found out about the pledge client, onboarded with the pledge client. I was like, great, amazing. I love this. It was the pledge client, similar to a Rise. However, they kind of keep their partnership, not kind of, they keep their partnership with the IBOs a secret, right? You have to just know someone who's associated with them to get in. So it was one person two people at the time that was able to sign on individuals with the pledge client, the IBOs, and the third person ended up being me. Because once I got with them, I was like, hey, listen, I teach other people how to do become IBOs, and like I need to know how to onboard them. Like they need this because Arise was moving into their slow season, right? Or so I thought. Most people say like, oh, Rise of Slow season is in the summertime. If you're not muted, please make sure that we mute as we enter the room. So Arise was like, yeah, no, this is a slow season. And the other IBOs were saying it was a slow season. I was like, I don't know. We'll jump into that more. But by May to June of 2023, I had 600 plus agents and they were spread out between Arise and then also the pledge client. And I was also connecting other IBOs with the pledge client. I was able to onboard about 30 to 40 IBOs with the pledge client. And then we were able to get agents in. We kind of broke their system, to be honest, which landed me to end my partnership with them because they weren't able to deliver on what they said. So anyway, by August to September, I was over it and I was like, I need to have direct clients. I figured out how to position myself in the market for my BPO call center. So when I say BPO call center, that means you are actually operating as a call center. With the Rise, you are not a call center. That is just their marketing strategy and how they present it to you so that they can empower you at the time, right? So, but what you really are is a staffing agency and a recruiter for their call center. And that is great and you're in the right place. But I just want to make sure that you know that you're not actually a virtual call center. You're not. You're a staffing agency and a recruiter for a call center, which is the Arrive call center. So I learned about virtual receptionists and how to position myself, my call center in the market as virtual receptionist. I was like, great, this is amazing. I got 10 clients in like a week or two. And I was like, okay, cool, we're doing this. Like we are doing this. I started teaching other people how to do this. And then I found a coach and I was like, let me find a coach. Let me see if there's something I'm missing. I found a coach. Turns out there wasn't a lot that I was missing. And I say that to say, sometimes there's not a blueprint. Sometimes there's not a blueprint. Sometimes you just got to go out and do it out on faith. and have faith that everything is going to work out, and God will send you the rest of the information as you go. So don't sit on information. Don't sit on anything. If you have the idea and if you know how to do ABC, you need to go ahead and get started with ABC. Everything else will reveal itself over time as you take action. So August to September, virtual receptionist launched. That's also when I started. September is when I started to teach other IBOs how to go ahead and start actually operating as a virtual call center and position themselves in the market as virtual receptionist business. And then October and November, I started to pick up traction, right? People started to notice me. I was getting acknowledged in different communities. I had hit like a 60K month and things like that. So things were moving for me and I was super excited. And I got featured in the press, right? So I had a feature that was picked up over 250 networks. And this was all about me teaching other mompreneurs how to actually operate as virtual call center owners, right? So not partner with the Arise platform, but being virtual call center owners, positioning themselves as virtual receptionists in the market so that they can onboard clients very, very quickly. And that is the gist of last year, right? So now I'm going to go into how I went from recruiting and staffing for Arise, making dollars. Because if we are talking about recruiting and staffing, honestly, not even dollars. Arise is paying us pennies. Arise is paying us pennies based off of the market and what we could be making, to be honest with you. And so now I've landed 4 and 5 figure contracts in a matter of weeks. In a matter of weeks from the time I ended my partnership with Arise, I started to land direct clients, and not just me, but other people, mentees inside of my bootcamp. They were able to do the same thing. And so it's possible. So before we go into detail about how that works, I want to make sure we're in the right place, that you're in the right place, that I'm talking to the right people. So this is for you if you currently own and operate a staffing and recruiting agency. If you're an IBO, obviously you do, right? We just defined what you really are. And I want you to start putting a 1 in the chat if any of this resonates with you. If you aspire to own your own staffing agency or recruiting agency, if you are interested in the Arise platform and becoming an IBO and you're looking for insight, like, hey, what's really going on? Is it really profitable still? Or is it just what the TikTok girlies are saying because they're after a money grab? Like, what is the real tea about this? Or maybe you just found me on social media and you're like, hey, I want to see what she's talking about. I want to see how she's found success. Maybe or you're looking to have a local and global community impact. You're looking to build generational wealth. You desire to make 100K or more a year. If you desire to make 100K or more a year, go ahead and put 100K in the chat. Like, I want to see 100K in the chat. Last year, I hit over 100K and I have been ecstatic. And this year, I'm going to double it, if not triple it. And so that's exciting also. And if you are one of those people, then you're in the right place. If you desire to be the first millionaire in your family, right? Put a 1 in the chat. If you're looking for longevity in business, meaning I'm not just trying to, TikTok is going crazy, y'all. They're putting 100K, 200K in the chat. If you're looking for TikTok, if you're new here, we're live on Zoom, so you get to eavesdrop in on our call. If you are looking for longevity in business, meaning you're tired of trying out businesses, you want something that you can stick to, something that you can hand down to your children, something that will generate generational wealth, those things. If you're looking for longevity. So if you're not looking for that, if you're like, I just want to see if it works, this is not the call for you. Go ahead and log out. Go ahead and log out. This is not the call. I only want to talk to people who are serious, who are like, hey, I'm in this for the long haul because I know that this is going to not only change my life, but change the trajectory of my entire family and for generations to come. You also need to be self-motivated and driven, right? Hard worker, and you're tired of living a mediocre life. I was tired when I started my staffing company. I was tired of being mediocre. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm tired of waiting for other people. I'm tired of helping other people. I'm tired of depending on other people. And, I just don't want I can do it. And maybe you're like that. You're like, listen, I've been trying and helping other people, and I'm always the go-to person for everyone else. It's time for me to do me. I love it. I love it. I'm just going over everything in the chat. See, yes. Okay, so you guys are in the right place. So again, I'm going to tell you right now, right? So I always give a disclaimer, because I want you to know who I'm not and who I don't want to work with, who is not my ideal client, who is not my ideal mentee, right? Who is not my ideal follower. So if you're looking for a money grab, wrong place, wrong coach. If you're looking for overnight success, same thing, wrong training, all of that. If you're looking for something easy, this is not the training for you. If you're looking for a cheap business, there's a lot of people, because of social media, they're just looking for what's the cheapest way that I can make this amount of money. It doesn't really work like that in business. If you were able to make thousands and thousands of dollars or $1 million and things like that, we have to know that there's an investment that comes along with that, right? We have to invest our time, we have to invest our money. There's a level of investment that goes along with it. And it's going to be on different levels depending on where you are, but you still have to invest in yourself. So if you're like, hey, I want to do a faceless business, because I know that's one of the trending things, is everyone wants to do a faceless brand. And I love that. It does apply as a great marketing strategy for certain businesses. This is not it. Once your business gets to a certain point, yes, you can no longer be the face of it. But if you're looking for a faceless business, this is not going to be the training for you. You're probably going to say, this is not for me, and you can just log out now. I'm just saving you some time, because time is money and your time is valuable. So I want to make sure that you're going to get the most out of your time. If you're someone who's not ready to change your mindset, if you're not able to put others first and you're not ready to be uncomfortable, again, go ahead and log out. Go ahead and log out. But if you're like, hey, I'm okay with all of that, then put a 1 in the chat, because you're in the right place. And we're about to go into how it's able to go ahead and start making thousands of dollars. I love it. I love it. Okay. There's a lot of 1s in the chat. If you're not a 1, if you're not placing a 1 in the chat, if you cannot bring yourself to put a 1 in the chat and claim this for yourself, we have bigger issues. Some of this is you claiming it. We have to claim it in real time. Don't let the devil play with you and make you feel like, I'm too cool to participate. I'm above this. I'm like, don't be that person. That is the way that he tricks you to stay at where you're at. Don't be that person, right? Put some energy behind it. If you know this is going to be a life-changing call, I'm about to learn information that's going to catapult me to the next level, claim it. Okay, so what I want to tell you guys, and I say this all the time, is money is a byproduct of you serving others. Claimed it. I love it. Love it. And you know what else I love? I love when I hear that button, that ding. Has anybody heard the ding when people leave? Have you guys heard it? I love it. I love when I hear that ding, because that means that those individuals were not ideal for this training. They were not ideal for what God has for me to give to you. And so I didn't waste my time telling them, and they didn't waste their time. I love it. Claimed it, I receive it, catapult me, love it. Okay, so money is a byproduct of us serving others. Okay, that's first and foremost. So I want you to keep that at the top of your head at all times. You're going to make amazing money, but you have to give a fuck about someone else. Sorry for the language. That is what it is. You have to care about other people. If you don't care about other people, you are not going to be doing good in business. So, and also there's no perfect business and there's no easy business. There are simple methods to make thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, but nothing about it is easy. It's going to be hard because you're going to have to change to something else. You're going to have to change into a better version of yourself. So it's going to be hard. Look here, say, give it to us raw. Don't sugarcoat anything. I'm definitely about to give it to you raw. And if I don't want to be, I don't want to fit in anyone's bubble. I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. And I want that to be something that resonates with each of you. When you're going along in your business, you're not going to be for everybody. Your business is not going to be for everybody. You're not going to target everybody. So be okay with that. Be okay with saying, I know who I am for, and I know who I am not for, and everyone else can kick rocks. And I promise you that kicked me into making 60K in 1 month. When I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start saying no. I started saying yes to the right things. And when I started saying yes to the right things, it increased my confidence. It decreased my stress, and it increased my bank account. So say no to things that you know are not, they don't fit the new you. And start today, right? Start tonight. Okay, so let's talk about why I left Arise. So we're gonna go about all the positives about Arise because there's a lot of great things about the Arise platform. No, it's a complete sentence, period. Yes. Um, so we're getting clapping emojis inside of TikTok. Say no when it doesn't fit the new you. Yes, you got to. You have to. And start tonight. Start tonight. Right? Wake up in the morning a new person. You get to decide that. No one else gets to decide who you are, who you're about to come. You decide that right now in real time. I know that. What time is it? We're already 30 minutes in. Okay. Are we 30 minutes in? I think we are. Okay. So let's talk about the positives about Arise. So these are some of the things that were the selling point for me for Arise. It was like, hey, you can offer work from home jobs to others. Loved it. It was quick and easy to start up. I was like, we just have to create a account and have our LLC and that's it, our EIN number and a bank account. We can get started. Okay, I love this. I can do this. So that was the selling point for me. Being able to, and if you have any selling points that you loved about Arise or you love about Arise, the reason why you're desiring to become an IBO, I want you to put it in the chat in case I missed anything, right? So another thing was that they already had clients available. That was big. That's big for a lot of people that go to Arise. They're like, hey, there's already clients, right? That's like their main selling point. Anytime I talk to IBOs, they're always like, well, Arise says they have the clients already. And I'm like, do they? Do they? But I also was like, I can make thousands of dollars, right? I can make thousands of dollars by helping other people work. They get to work and I get to make thousands of dollars. I just need to help 100 people. That was the math that I was thinking about. So I told you guys how my journey started from January to April, right? I went viral. I had agents signing up. They were working. So I was like sitting on my throne. I was like, this is perfect. Arise has 10 plus opportunities in the portal all the time. Trainings are starting like 2 weeks out from the date that they sign up. There is what else did they have going on? I was like, it was just a great time to be with Arise, right? If you started with Arise, then it was a great time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And okay, so on an off topic, I started doing photo shoots and I have another one that I'm about to do this month. And I think I'm gonna do a photo shoot like every single month. When I tell you it levels up your confidence, because I'm one of those people that's like, I'm not photogenic and I just get nervous in front of the camera and I was like, no, I need to operate on a higher level. I need to get over this fear. I need to stop telling myself I'm not photogenic and I just need to do it because when I do it, I'll get better at it. But it has changed my life in a whole, like my mindset in a whole different level. So do a photo shoot. I don't care if you just set up your phone and do one with your friends, like do an impromptu photo shoot and just enjoy it. Put some music on, have fun. Like it has been life-changing for me. And if you do decide to do it, send me a message like this was the best thing I've ever done. Because I promise you it'll be the best thing you've ever done. And obviously you'll have marketing material. But but January through April, I was like sitting on my throne. I was like, yes, this is great. Arise is amazing. I'm killing it. My mentees are killing it. What more could you ask for? But then it was coming into summertime. And at the same time, it was coming in the summertime, and I was peeping the scene because I did logistics in the past, and so we did something. We had in-home delivery contracts with all these major brands, and then we had appliance contracts, and then we decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and work for Amazon, right? And Amazon had all the clients, right? And then what I learned is that, and we let go of our other contracts, and we had like 30 trucks running on Amazon nonstop, 24 hours a day. And I was like, one, I didn't sleep, so I hated it. I will never go back to the logistics world. But we made great money. We definitely made great money. But also when things started to go downhill, I didn't have anything. I had got rid of all my previous clients to partner with this company that had all the clients. And then when they started to go downhill, my business started to go downhill. And then I had to go find new clients and start from scratch. And if you're not muted, let's go ahead and check our screens to make sure that we're muted. I think it was somebody new who just came in. So let's just make sure we're muted. So yeah, so that's kind of it. So April, when I'm looking at Arise, I'm like, oh, this is giving me deja vu. I'm not sure if I can go ahead and still be with them because they have clients, but I can see the shift. Like, what do you mean slow season? What are we talking about? So that was like, it flipped a switch, right? And I was sitting here looking like her. I was looking like her, like trying to do the math. Like, I'm like, the math isn't mathing. The IBOs are like, it's just summertime and it happens every year. Stick with the rise. I was like, well, what about the direct clients outside of, they were still trying to get with Pledge. It's like, Pledge is dead. Okay, what about, I'm gonna do Pledge, but what about clients outside of that? And they were just like, it's too hard to find clients. Literally, they were like, it was too hard to find clients. And I was like, you know what? That just means you guys are lazy or you're too scared to go out and try to figure it out. And when you have been with some company for years and you're just okay with their up and down and you're not looking for any consistency, you're not looking for another avenue to expand your business and you're letting them have full control of your business, I'm like, this is not, I can't be like y'all. I can't do it. Like, I need consistent money coming in. I don't need an easy business. I'm okay with doing hard work because I want crazy results. I want to be a millionaire. I want to make, my goal last year was to make 100K. And I was just trying to push for $10,000 months. And so I was like, this is not going to happen with this. What are you talking about? This is messing up my plan. And so at the same time, they were telling me that around, you guys are laughing in the chat. At the same time, they were telling me that, it's just their slow season. Stick with it. Arise is expanding. So I'm looking at Arise, and I don't know if you guys read the press releases and stuff that Arise do and they put out, or if you follow like on Google, maybe you need to add like Google alerts. A lot of us are in businesses and we don't even follow the trends of the industry. So we have to start thinking at a higher level, right? So what are you in and are you actually checking up on it? Or are you just always going off of someone else's information? So I'm looking at Arise and they're in the United States, Canada, and United Kingdom, but now they're expanding. And they were going into Northern Ireland and they were going to Jamaica. And when they promoted Jamaica, I was like, bet I'm going into Jamaica because I was on TikTok all the time. And I would have people in the Caribbean and Jamaica always saying, like, can I work for your call center? And I was like, not yet. So when they said Jamaica, I was like, great. So I was about to shut down my LLC and create a whole another account with Arise. But Arise was like, no, you can only be independent agents in these other countries. And I was like, oh, okay. This ain't adding up. The math ain't mathing. Something's going in. I could just feel the shift in the atmosphere. I was like, oh, I have to move and I need to pivot quickly. And I need to help the other people that are following me pivot just as quickly, right? So then they did India. I said, no, ma'am. India? If you went to India? No. I'm getting out of here. Like, I have to figure out how to expand outside of the Arise platform and then outside of Pledge, right? So that's what led me to learning more about virtual call center and fully operating as a virtual call center because India, when a company goes to India, game over, right? So I was like, no. I'm not about to be doing that. Yep. Did a survey about the game. Yeah. So so they were saying in America, we're like, oh, it's the slow season. No, Arise was shifting. They were shifting. If you have looked at Arise, they have been in targeting the US industry for years, right? When they first started, they were just for the US. And then they expanded to Canada, then they expanded to UK, and then they started to expand to other countries. But it wasn't that it was their slow season. They were shifting. They were sending clients over to these other markets. And I was like, okay, well, it's time to shift with them. Like if they're shifting, I'm shifting. So here comes fall 2023, and I'm looking like Kevin Hart. I'm looking like because now they're expanding. The clients are being pushed to new locations. There's less opportunities inside of the portal. So I went from sending out daily emails to sending out no emails. My subscriber list for my call center, they were like, why are we not getting daily emails anymore? I said, have you checked the portal? Y'all missed your opportunity. Y'all should have been on it when it was available, because people sit on information. We sit on it and we think that business doesn't change and opportunity will always be available. Let this be a lesson right now. When you get this information, let's take action immediately. Let's not sit on it, because nothing stays the same in business. Things move, markets change. You have to be able to pivot, and you need to know when to pivot. So I'm at fall 2023. I'm Kevin Hart. I'm looking at these other IBOs like, are y'all serious? Like, what are we doing? I'm trying to, tell them like, hey, there's another way. You guys can get direct clients, but they were just so obsessed with Arise. And I'm like, okay, you guys are in this matrix, this Arise matrix, and just okay with being so comfortable and waiting it out. And I'm like, do you guys not have bills? Do you guys have not have big goals? I'm talking to the wrong people. If you are in here and you're like, no, I have big goals. Like I have big, it's a Kevin Hart picture. If you have big goals, I want you guys to start putting it in the chat. Like, no, do you want to partner with something that's going to limit you? Because that's what's going to happen. And I love Arise. Arise changed my life. Because of me starting with Arise, I was able to literally, I'm living in Thailand now. Like I changed my entire life in a year. But I took advantage of the opportunity while it was there. It's different now. And I'm not saying don't go with the Rise, right? I'm not saying don't go with them. I'm saying have your eyes wide open about what the nature of that partnership is today. Don't think about and if you have found someone on the internet, other IBOs, things like, ask them, what is get in some of these Facebook groups. Ask them, what is the nature of the partnership today? Because today, everyone's panicking. Everyone is panicking. Okay. 2024, this is how Arise looks right now. Do you see this? This used to be how Black Friday used to look. I don't know if you guys, Black Friday used to be a big thing. I used to love Black Friday. People used to get hurt Black Friday. This is how Arise looks right now. Black Friday. That's how it looks right now. I'm telling you, when they post who's in here is an IBO, who's in here, who's in the portal. When they post those opportunities now, this is the scramble of agents trying to get in the class. And then the class is closed in a minute. They're closing in minutes. There's not enough opportunities for the agents. And there's more IBOs, there's more agents. Social media is now here, and TikTok has caught on, right? And now everyone's after a money grab, and they're like, open your call center, open your call center, open your call center. And they're not telling you that there are not enough opportunities for you to make a killing. They're not telling you that. They're just like, it's easy. Do it. You register your LLC in minutes. These are moving in minutes. And so the influx of people with the decrease of opportunities, and on top of that, long-standing clients are leaving Arise every single month. Every month, at least 2 clients have left Arise since 2024 began. This month, if you're not muted, go ahead and mute. This month alone, the largest the tax company left. I'll let you guys guess who that is. They're leaving every month. Long-standing clients, they're sending out emails. This person's leaving. This client leaving. This company's leaving. Turbo. There you go, Lakia. They're leaving. Why are they leaving? I'll tell you why they're leaving. IBOs are not looking for training. They're not looking for people who have already been in the business. There are people on that are just telling them that it's easy. The agents are signing up for opportunities, not showing up for work. The clients are sick of it. They're sick of it. And then also Arise on top of that, they're moving them over. Nas got it. They're moving them over overseas. They're like, hey, we're in another market now. We have better agents over here. They really want to work because they really value the US dollar. The problem is that we didn't value this opportunity. And so we squandered it. And now Arise is going to be amazing. Arise is doing what they need to do. And all I'm telling you to do is do what you need to do. Arise is doing what they need to do. I look up to them. I'm looking at their blueprint and I'm like, I can't wait. I'm going to be traveling to the Philippines to open up an office there very, very soon. Follow me on TikTok because I'm going to document my journey. But I'm following the blueprint. You guys need to look at the trends and look how businesses are moving, and you need to, follow. You need to follow. And but they are going overseas and thieves. So I don't think that they're thieves, right? You have to look at it in business. So in business, if you are in this market and you are getting bad results, the only thing you can do is pivot, right? And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about pivoting. The labor is cheaper. Oh, the agents. Oh, okay, yeah. Copy the right cat. Exactly. Yeah, so the labor's cheaper over there. Rise is making a killing. And honestly, they're still having a major impact on the community. If they're now having a global impact on the community. Our dollar goes a lot further in these other communities. Let me tell you this right now. I'm doing a review for my assistant. I hired her through a company. I'm just giving you an example. I hired her through a company and I was like, listen, she's been with me over almost a year now. And I was like, listen, I know I'm paying them more just to have you and I love you. So we're just going to hire you directly with me. Because I can't continue to do this. And I was like, send me your pay rate. Send me your salary that you want. Like, let me know what you want. And she sent it over. Can someone guess with me what her hourly rate was? I'm already paying her more. I'm already paying this company more than this. But hello, Fonzie. Somebody guess what you think her hourly rate was that she was like, yeah, this is what I would like to be. Whitney, you got it. Whitney and T, you guys got it. Who else? Talea. Yes. But that's life changing for them. And she was like, and then if I showed you guys the email, she had like broken it down. I love her so much. She's so detailed. She had like broken it down where she was like, so the first 3 months I get $6 an hour, and then 6 months to 9, like after 6 months, she was like, she was asking for like an increase of $7 and then honey, she had it broken down to like year 1 and 2. Year 1 and 2, she was just asking for $9 an hour. Baby, I'm already paying $9 an hour for you. You just don't know it. And that's why I was like, I need to get you with me because what she don't know is she's about to get that already anyway, because I'm already used to paying it. It's just not all going to her. Because when I was looking for a VA, I just chose to go through a different company and let them do the work, right? Give me 1 second. I have to do this little verification on TikTok so that they can know that I'm still here. So Arise is going to be great. Arise is going to be great. The labor is cheaper over there. It's life changing. In Thailand, where I'm at right now, if they are making $500 US on a monthly basis, they are excited. Imagine you trying to do $500 a month. You wouldn't be able to do it, right? They are, if they're paying them $500 a month, they are changing their lives. So that's the type of impact that you are going to have on your business, and your business is not only to be able to help those in the US find amazing work and get paid thousands, but you're going to also be able to expand your team and have a global impact and take advantage of the global workforce, right? That is insane. It is insane. So I know that I'm already going over time, right? We're already over time. So is it okay? Is it okay if we keep going? Because we didn't even get into the good stuff yet. Are you guys
Keep
okay?
going.
Are you like, no, I'm
Keep going.
tired. I need
Going.
to log. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Y'all unmuted. Y'all said no. We unmuting and tell her keep going. Okay. So the correct question, because people always said, why did you? As soon as I posted it, they was like, why would you leave Arise? Why are you leaving Arise? The real question is, why would I stay? Why would I stay with Arise? Why would I stay somewhere where I know I've outgrown them, where it's stagnant, where they are shifting and I need to shift too, when I cannot grow my business in a manner that I desire and that I know I deserve? Why would I stay? So So I was talking to God because I was like, you know what, God, I really want to stay with the Rise just so that I can help others, right? I feel like they're getting my people and I need to free them. And if I leave a Rise, like, because everyone finds me that way, how am I going to, what's going to happen to my audience? And he was like, girl, listen, you came, you saw, you conquered. Now let's take it up a notch. And I was like, okay, well, let's say less. And then I sent out the email and I said, and I sent out an email to my agents. They were currently working. But when God say move, I move. So he said, buy a Rise. That's exactly what he said, Tanika. And I was like, okay. And I sent out the email. I said, listen, this is your notification. You guys are going to have to start making adjustments. I am ending my partnership. SOWs will be canceled. I apologize for the inconvenience. What else am I going to do? Right? And it's not that they can't work with the Rise, but they just can't work under my call center anymore. Belinda, go ahead, ask your question.
So, like, in your honest opinion, I must ask. So, because I'm starting my call center and everything like that, I haven't got it launched or anything like that. I'm still making sure I have everything step by step. I know everything's not going to be perfect the first go around, but I like to be a perfectionist. Why I don't know, but it's just me. So I try to make sure I have like all my ducks in a row and stuff like that. So I've been watching a lot of your videos and stuff, making sure I'm going down my checklist and make sure I have this, make sure I have this and stuff like that. So I'm looking at this, and if you talk about a Rise, and I'm seeing the good and I see the bad, in your honest opinion, like starting off, like with this very first time me doing this, would you advise me to go with a Rise, or do you think that even people on here, do you think we should go with a Rise first, like to get our feet wet and stuff like that, or do you think it's best for us to try to sit there and find companies and stuff ourselves?
Okay, so Belinda, that's a good question. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go and we're going to do a Rise versus placement. And then I'm going to have you unmute and we're going to dive into that question after that. Because I think
Okay.
once you get this information, because I'm going to re-ask you that same question once you get this information.
Okay.
Okay, so get ready to unmute.
All right.
Again,
Right here on
because
the phone.
I'm happy you asked that. I know there's other people and they're in the chat now, like, I got that same question. Yeah, so I'm going to answer that. And I'm going to tell you what I was previously just saying, right? Because if you're looking at my content, then you know that I was telling people, hey, you know what, you can probably stick it out, but let's talk about placement and then you tell me. But yeah, so
Okay.
we're going to do these couple of slides and we're about to see. So with the Rise, Belinda's so on point. I love it. So with the Rise, we're charging a service fee, right? So I'm just gonna go with my example. If your service fee is different, or if you're thinking about a service fee, go ahead and put it in the chat of what you charge currently. If you're an IBO, or if you're aspiring IBO and you're like, this is what I was thinking about, go ahead and put it in the chat. So mine was $55. $50, okay. 50, and before it was $55, it was $49.99. Maya and TikTok says $49. Okay. So $40. Now, when I did the 50, first it was $49.99. When I got with the pledge client, their platform fee was a little bit different. So I had to up it that little $6 to cover that. So that's why I made mine $55. So if we go with $55, each agent that works the entire month, you're going to make $110 from them, right? And then we're just going to subtract $20. And we're just going to call it business expenses, whether it's to go towards the software, the payroll cost, personnel, your time, whatever you want to call it. We're going to say that for every $110, we're taking out $20. So we get $90 for every agent. So we need 100 agents working monthly, consistently. The consistent part is what is important. We need 100 agents to make $9,000 a month. If you do placement, right, you can make 3K with just one person. You can, and I'm saying 3K, but honestly, on average, you're going to be making 5 to 10K. The bare minimum. We're talking about minimum. One person, 3K. That's only 3 people. You only need 3 people to hit 9K versus 100 people. So you're still having impact. right? You're still helping individuals with landing dream jobs that they would love to have. However, you're getting paid your value, because I want you guys to think about what you do on a daily basis. So when you are with Partner with Arise, you have to promote, you have to, make marketing material, you have to do training, you have to do onboarding process with them, educate them on the Arise platform. You need to answer any questions, concerns, comments that they have, right? You have to, if they need equipment, then you need to have a partnership so that you can help them. If you don't have a partnership, you need to have one. Go to the Waze company if you don't have it. WAHES, his name is Daniel Hell in some of those Facebook groups. I love him, but he's scared too, because he's made all his money partner with the Rise. He's scared too. So placement is a type of recruiting. Placement is a type of recruiting and staffing. Yep, Talia, yep, Waze. So one person, right? So we're still having an impact. We're still able to help people, but we're able to get paid our value because we're doing the same exact thing. We're doing the same thing when it comes to Arise. We're staffing, we're recruiting. First of all, we're recruiting, and then we're getting them to be staffed on their platform, on their call center, to service their clients. So what we do doesn't change. Who we target changes. And that's it. So you're still doing the same thing. You're still doing the same amount of work. You're still going to take the same amount of time, because, and sometimes we think like, well, if you're on here, you're like, well, Arises work from home jobs. It's easier to, like sell and market to people because everyone wants to work from home. If that's you, if you have that, if you're thinking that, then I want you to think about the number. So I had 700 agents. A lot of people get hung up on that number and they're like, oh, you got 700 agents. Oh my God, so amazing. Okay. Was I making 700 agents? If they were all working, that would make $70,000. Ask me if I was making $70,000. No, because it's a number game. You're going to have agents that sign up and they apply and then they do nothing. You're going to have people that go through your onboarding process and then they do nothing. You're going to have people that go through your onboarding process and then they sign up under your platform correctly. You're going to have ones that don't sign up correctly. You're going to have ones that finally get into an opportunity because they had enough time to get one. And then once they have gotten in there, they don't finish the training, or they can't pass the background check, or they start working, but then they stop showing up for work, or they're not hitting the metrics. There's a lot of different things, nuances with the Arise partnership that people do not talk about. And so I want you to understand all of that too. It's the same thing for placement. There's nuances inside of placement too, right? But the financial part is way higher, way, way higher. The business in a box information is still relevant. Absolutely, Nani, because you already, so in the business in box, if you guys have business in box, then one, you should already have automated your Arise. If you are in my business in box program, you know that business in box, we automate Arise and we focus on getting direct clients through actually operating a virtual call center. And you already have all of that training information. You have everything already pre-built for you, automations, email templates, text templates, contracts, all of that is already in your portal. So your information still applies. And this is what I've always been telling people for literally the last year and 2-3 months, is that you need to, if you're going to do Arise, you need to automate Arise and forget about them. Automate your onboarding process and forget about them and move on to the next thing. But Nani, if you're in business in box, so you already have all of that. Yeah, Arise isn't something that you want to just, I wouldn't put a lot of effort into it, but I'm gonna tell you why. So this is why Arise is low opportunities. We're literally being paid pennies compared to the market. And also, after you get someone placed with Arise, guess what? You still have to do back work. You do have to do payroll. And you need more people to reach your goal, whatever your goal is. I want you guys to put in the chat, what's your goal? What's your monthly goal? Business Inbox is going to be available again. However, the structuring of it is going to change. What it's going to now include is the virtual call center training, actually operating as a virtual call center, and then this right here, right? The recruit, place, and prosper. That is what's going to change. The Arise information is going to not exist. I won't be offering that. If I do offer it, it's going to be at like a super discounted, cheap price, like maybe $97 a month if you guys just want Arise. But yeah, outside of that, no. Okay, so I look, see big numbers, 10K, 30K, 15K, 20K, 50K. Love it. 100K. And we are talking about month, right? We're saying month. This is what we want every single month. Aisha, reframe that. I'll take 10K. I just need something. No. It's not about what you take, it's about what do you want. I want you guys to really be serious about what you want. Like, what is your real number? Not what you think, like, let me be realistic. I feel like us as a community, Black people as a community, we're always looking for, well, let me be realistic. We doubt that it's possible for ourselves. I just told you guys I had a 60K month before. It's possible. It's just about what business are you in. So I don't want you guys to discount it. I want you to be real firm about, this is what I want. This is what I'm going after. This is what I deserve. I'm not taking anything less than this. Because the moment you decide and you put that energy behind it, that is what's going to change it. We can't be like, I don't know, I'm too scared to claim it. Claim it. Claim it. If you really want it, say it. Don't sit around and be like, well, I'm just trying to, I don't know. I've never made that amount. So, you know what I mean? Most people, we don't even feel comfortable with making that amount. We're like, I don't even know what I would do if people gave me that money. I don't know if I'm worthy of it. I don't know. And that's something else, right? Do you feel that you're not worthy? We don't need to be settling. We need to claim it. Put your name on it. Stamp your name on it. If God's listening. And TikTok, they have big numbers. They're 80K, 350K, 16K, 20K, right? And we're talking about monthly millionaire. That's what I'm talking about. She said, I want to make $1 million every month. When I tell you that my one of my major goals is to have $1 million days. I'm around coaches and communities and they're having $1 million days. Like, I'm in phase for, hitting my 100K month and then my 100K day and things like that. They're hitting $1 million days. When I tell you this is possible, it's possible, but it's not possible if you don't think it is. It's not possible if you're not going to do the work behind it. But wealth is built from imagination. We have to sit back and imagine these things, and then we put the energy and the action behind it. Okay, so can I tell you guys something? I love all of the numbers. And let me just be honest with you all. If you're talking about doing this to the Rise, it's not happening.
I was coming
not
off
gonna
here to say that it ain't happening.
Yeah, if you like, yeah, I want all these numbers, and I love them, it's possible, but not with the Rise. If you want that, it's absolutely possible. You can do it. One of my clients just had 15K contract. She was with me 8 weeks, and she wasted not that one. She was very adamant about that 8 weeks. But other ones, they wasted maybe 4 weeks going through imposter syndrome and things like that we worked through. But it's possible. It's not happening with Raz. So, who was it I was talking to earlier? Belinda. Was it Belinda? Belinda, I want you to unmute before we go to the next slide.
Yeah, around my head. And
So I want you,
because I did my research on the Rise too and stuff like that. Even just looking at the numbers and then seeing, because I was doing deep diving into the Rise. Basically, Rise making all the money if you getting a chump change at the end of the situation, if I'm being honest with you. Because especially starting out, you don't want to take so much out of person paycheck and stuff like that, because it's not benefiting you and it's not benefiting them in a certain way either. And then looking at the placement, 3 employees is it's ridiculous, because you got to get 100 just to add up to that 3. And it's not at all. The only thing with placements is a placement like a company is that something you have to go to, as an online as well, like a Rise?
So I'm gonna share this with you. I'm gonna actually share. We're gonna go deeper into placement. You guys tell me if it's okay, because I know it's late where you guys are. We're gonna go deeper into placement, and I'm gonna share with you guys something that I haven't shared with anyone. It's one of the sites that is in actually my ebook. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna log into it, and I'm gonna show you what type of commissions are listed. And I don't show this to anyone, right? It's like either you get the ebook and you get access to the information, or you don't. Okay, you guys are cool with me going on.
Girl, come on, go on into it,
Yes,
girl.
please
We is here.
continue.
Excuse
We
me,
is
I just had
here.
a quick question.
That Arise, so not saying that they're bad, but like you just made me look at it so different because I'm gonna be honest with you, the only one that's keeping it real because not a lot of people tell you the downfalls of Arise and things like that. Oh, everything takes time, which is true. Every business don't automatically get started like that. But the way looking at Arise, you about to be Arise for almost a year before you get to this, that, and the third. And looking at
I
the
promise you,
placement, you got them within a few months.
weeks. You can
So,
get there in a few weeks if you're
That
diligent.
made it even worse. Weeks.
Yes. So it's so funny. People on TikTok are like, "Oh my God, we can't see. We're not gonna be able to see." They're so jealous of y'all. they're they're
so I
so
had a
jealous.
quick,
Listen, if you're go ahead, ask your
Tell them
question.
they
If
should
you're
have
on
joined
TikTok
their
and you
email
want to
list.
subscribe, go ahead and do it.
I had a quick question. So with the placements, it's just like the original staffing agencies where you place someone on a permanent position and they go ahead and pay you up front, right? Instead of you getting
Yep.
paid
So you can.
hourly, you would get the lump sum
Yep.
payment for the permanent position, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
And is that online too? I just need to know.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah. So everything's
Okay.
online. Everything's online. You guys as business owners will still be able to work from home. You'll still be able to travel. I'm in Thailand, guys. I'm in Thailand. I have no desire to come back to the United States.
Oh yeah, you
Once I
rich,
left,
rich.
I was
You
like, I'm
moved out
out of
the
here.
country.
Yeah, I'm in Thailand. I don't have no. I'll be back in September for conferences, but I have no desire. But if it wasn't now, I'm so grateful for Arise, right? I'm not saying that they're a bad company. By all means, they have changed the trajectory of my life. However, what I'm saying is that the business that when I got into business with them, it's not the same as right now. What Arise was doing the first half of the year in 2023 is not what they are doing right now in 2024. So, and that's what I want you guys to understand is that things change and sometimes we miss opportunities. We are behind on the curve. And right now, if you're partnering with the Rise, I promise you, you are behind on the curve. You can believe what anybody else says. You don't have to, you get into it yourself. There's someone in TikTok right now, like I got 30 agents in 30 days, and I immediately knew in 30 days it wasn't going to work because it has changed. It's not that it's bad, it's just they have changed. TikTok is like, what's the link? Who can go on my TikTok and drop the Zoom link for them? Anyone willing to do that?
I can do it.
Okay, TikTok, y'all got some people that are about to come and save y'all. They are going to drop the Zoom link inside of the live chat. You guys are going to have to copy it to
Tell them
join the
they
Zoom
gotta
so you can see
promise
our
to
screen.
join your email list though.
Yeah, so you need to do the subscribe, and then go ahead and we're going to drop the link. So off top of what made you choose relocate to Thailand? So we're going to take are you guys okay with taking an intermission really quickly so we can help other people get in and get this information? Is that okay? And now we'll have like a short Q&A while we get them together. Are you guys okay with that? Yes. Okay. All right. We got it. We're okay. So let me just go through the chat. I know there was like some off-topic question. What made me relocate to Thailand? Honestly, I had got tired of, I was doing my vision board. I don't know if there's any vision board girlies in here. I was doing my vision board and I do it every year. I make my family sit down and do it. I make my daughter do it, her friends do it. Like I make them do it. We're doing it every year. We're going to have a whole family meeting about it. And then we present it. I got tired of doing a vision board. I was doing my vision board and it was like, I want to retire in Bali. I had like pictures of Bali in there. I had pictures of Thailand. I had pictures of all these things. And God was like, why are we still doing a vision board? And I never finished it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it no more. I'm going because all I needed was to have consistent monthly income so I can have the US dollar, have a business that I could work anywhere, and have courage to just go and do it. And I was like, oh, it's over. I'm doing it. I already have everything I need. And that's what I did. Now, was I scared? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I was like, I'm tired of putting stuff on this freaking cardboard paper when I can just go out and do it. I can do it right now. I had pictures of how I wanted to look, the type of clothing that I wanted. And I was like, let me just be intentional. Let me start buying the outfits that I actually want to wear and stop just buying random things just because. Let me start, marketing my business the way I know I'm supposed to. Let me start going out and searching for more people to help because I know that money is a byproduct of serving others. So it increased everything. I was like, let me just 10x me. Let me become another version of myself. And I'm going to Thailand. And before this, I didn't have a lot of people ask me like, did you visit there beforehand? No. I didn't even have a passport. I hadn't even left the country before. I was the furthest I had went was to Puerto Rico. And I didn't even tell my family I was leaving. My sister's in here, I think. I don't know if she's still in here. But I told them like the week that I was leaving, 2 weeks before, I went to Atlanta to get an expedited passport, and I told them. Hear from TikTok, hey,
That's
make sure
true.
that you subscribe so that you get it. She said, that's true. And they were like, what's wrong with you? You're crazy. Why would you do that? You're moving so far. And I was like, it'll work out. And my sister sat me down while she's on her. I'm gonna tell you what she did. I went to go visit her because I went to Atlanta for a reason because most of my family was there. So I'm like, I'm gonna say bye to them. The ones up north, they're just out of luck. And so I went to her house and she was like, I'm sitting down. You need to sit down and let's talk about this. What's the plan? What if this happens? What are you gonna do? What if this happens? What are you gonna do? And I was like, I'll figure it out. I figured out in America, God got me. And she was like, I do not agree with this decision. And I was like, well, you got my passport and I already paid for my ticket and we're just doing it. So, oh well,
That's true.
you'll be okay. So all she giving y'all is that's true. That's true. And you know what's so crazy is that my sister, she's on here. So, and she's doing this. She's in the boot camp right now, doing what I'm telling you guys right now.
At
And when
this
I told
point,
her to
how
do
much is the boot camp so we can just sign up? Because I'm already ready. My debit card is unlocked.
Okay, we're gonna get to that, and I got a special code for you guys who are on this masterclass. So get ready, and there's limited amount of spots, so really get ready. Because you're gonna have me in your back pocket for 12 weeks. You're literally gonna have me in your back pocket. The last boot camp was only 8 weeks. This time around, I'm extending it 12 weeks, so you're gonna have me in your back pocket. Okay, I think that we have our TikTokers in here.
How much is your the thing for the boot camp?
So we're going to get into it. We're going to get
Okay.
into it. But before we talk about it, I want to get back to the slide. And the reason why I said that is because the next slide, right? We're about to get into it right now. Talaya, yeah, I can only do real life testimony. There's no way for me to help you guys if I haven't done it. Right? It doesn't make sense. I can't teach or share or even have an experience or tell you about what's going on in my life if I haven't done it. So yeah. And this is how I like to teach. So if you like this, then you're going to love my women's empowerment group because I'm going to be showing you guys how to take your business from just small, making 2-3K, a month to 10K on repeat every single month, and then hitting that 30K, 40K, 50K month. So if that's something that you love, that membership is going to be opening. Just follow me on TikTok because we'll get into that. But so there's a couple ways that you can do placement. And this is where I'm going to tell you guys the difference between the sites and then acquiring direct clients. So there are placement sites. Think about Arise. But on these sites, they already have the clients listed, the job openings. They have the split commissions listed. These commissions are ranging between 3K and 25K and more. There's millions of dollars on these sites worth of commission. And then we have they manage the interview process. They are specified to certain niches. So every site has specific niches that they have the opportunities on. It's not, so one of the downsides is that it's not exclusive to you. right? It's not exclusive to you. Some of them are no payment upfront. I'm going to show you guys a site that's no payment upfront. Again, I've never shown this site. It's only in my ebook, but you guys are going to have access to it in just a few minutes. And then you don't get credit for the placement, right? So your business, you're doing all the work, you found the candidate, you don't get that relationship with that client. That company does, which is okay, right? Because you still get that large commission check in 30 days. So all of this is you're getting paid on a net 30-day payment invoice, except for when you get in the boot camp. Now in the boot camp, so you can leverage the placement sites. It's in my ebook. There's over 10 sites in there. And there's millions of dollars worth of commission. You can literally get started. If you already have a subscribers list and things like that, you're already posting and marketing your business, you can literally pivot, sign up for these sites. You're going to need a LinkedIn page, and we'll go into more of that. But you can literally get started on these sites, start marketing, and start submitting your candidates. There's already individuals that have messaged me and they're like, I got candidates in the interview process. I have my commission pending. Like, it's really that simple. Well, the concept is simple, the work is hard. So then we have the boot camp. This is where we talk about acquiring direct clients, right? Because again, I love the accessibility and the ease of having everything listed for me. But what I do know is I desire to have the skill to feed myself. I don't like to depend on people to feed me. If they can feed you, they can starve you. And so I don't want to just know how to wait for somebody to feed me, meaning you're just waiting for these sites to go out and grab the food and then you submit, but you're not the only one submitting, right? So there's still a level of competition. And that's no matter what business you're in, there's a level of competition. It does make it easier. You can find success in it. Many people are finding success in it. You can leverage those sites to get immediate income coming in. But in the boot camp, what we focus on is acquiring direct clients. That's what we focus on. We are in recruiting in any industry, in any niche. Now, these sites are going to be specific to certain industries. You might want to be in an industry that's not on the site. And so now that's where the boot camp comes in, right? So this is where I teach you how to niche down. And we'll go into niching down on this training if you guys stick around. We talk about you don't have no commission splits when you have a direct contract. There's no upfront payment. Some of the sites, they will have like a membership payment that you have to do. It's not a lot, but some of them do have like a membership payment. And then with the direct clients, you have exclusivity, meaning they are only going to you for their candidates. They're not reaching out to other recruiters and staffing agencies. So that way you get to have that ongoing relationship with that client, right? So every time they need new team members, they're going to reach out to you. Hey, we need new talent, and you're going to go out and get that talent. So that's the ability to do that, and you get to offer them additional services. So if you're like, hey, I want to expand it to temporary staffing, which is something we talk about in boot camp, you're able to do that also. So you want to think about that too. That's the difference between the ebook and then the boot camp. The ebook sites, freelance recruiter, get started immediately. Boot camp, we are learning how to feed ourselves. We don't do any cold calling. Nope, I don't teach you to do any cold calling. I'm not against cold calling. Cold calling is amazing, but I just told you how much the workforce is overseas, right? Sometimes we just got to invest and find someone who's better at it. But no, the method that I teach you has nothing to do with cold calling. Yeah, if they can feed you, they can starve you. Yes, they can. Okay, so that's the difference between that. So how do we acquire direct clients, right? I'm about to go into some of this with you guys right now. So there's 4 types of staffing. Right now, what we're talking about direct hire, which is placement, direct hire placement. So with that, you are going to do some work up front for free. So you're going to find the candidate for free, which you're already doing with the RAS, or what you're thinking about doing with the RAS, right? And then you're going to negotiate your commission. Your commission is going to be between 20 to 30% of that candidate's annual salary. If their annual salary is $100,000, your check is $30,000. So for you individuals in here, let me scroll through the chat because I know I saw a bunch of like $30,000, $50,000, $20,000. Imagine making that by helping one person. Tanika, Day. Who else was there? Katana. Samantha, Deidre, Jonelle, imagine making what your monthly goal is by just helping one person. Just one person. If you just said, I have a goal of I'm just going to help one person get their dream job, their dream career in this specific role, that's all you have to do. You just have to be committed to the process. And then they pay you on the net 30. So once that candidate has worked with that company for 30 days, then you're going to get your payment, right? Once they sign an offer letter, you're invoicing them. You're sending them an invoice of net 30. Here is my check, my payment. Go ahead and let me wait. Same thing happens on those sites. The same thing is happening on the sites. You have to wait. Some of them you wait 30 days, some of them you wait 60 days. Nas, yes. So how we recruit is still going to be the same. And I'm so happy. You guys are like, I'm not going to say that you're better than yesterday's class, but I'm loving these questions that you guys have and the feedback that I'm getting because Nas, you're ahead of yourself. I'm literally about to go into niches right now and why we need to pick a niche. Okay, and then there's other ways to do recruiting and staffing. So there's the contingency, which is temp to hire, right? And then we have retain search and engage search. These three is what we talk about all four in the boot camp, but we really focus on retain search and engage search. And that is when you are getting paid up front. Retain search, I want you guys to think of it as attorney, right? When you get an attorney, you pay a retainer. They need some money up front. They're not going to work for you for free. They don't care what charges you got. They're like, okay, listen, this is my retainer fee. And this is kind of when you're a recruiter, you're doing the retain search, that's what you're going to do. This is your retainer fee. And then we're going to get started working, right? Me and my team are going to go out and find you the best talent. So now we have, and that is going to be a third. Typically, it's a third of the annual salary. So if your commission is $30,000, they would give you a $10,000 payment up front for you to start working. Now, then we also have engage search. Engage search is similar to retain search, except for it's a smaller amount that you're going to be charging them. So just a small flat fee. You're not trying to get rich off them. You're not trying to make a profit, but you want them to still have skin in the game. Because sometimes, and this is one of the nuances inside of recruiting and staffing, sometimes you will run into companies, and I teach you all how to market yourself, how to pivot, what to say on these calls to ensure that they are ready. But if you don't know, and you're not with a coach and you're not with a training, then you are going to run into issues where sometimes companies, you'll partner with them and they'll say, yes, we're ready to hire. We want to hire 3 associates and we want them to be hired in the next 60 days, blah, blah, blah. And then you'll get an email and they'll say, hey, you know what? After second thought, we're going to decide we're going to wait a while before we go ahead and submit. We go on and take on new team members. And now you're like, wait a minute, I just did all this work for free. What are you talking about? So engage search and retain search ensures that they have some skin in the game, that they're not going to back out. And if they did back out, guess what? You didn't just do all this work for free, right? So that's retain search and engage search. That's what we really focused on inside of the boot camp. You get the scripts, you get the contracts, you get everything's laid out for you, including your website template, everything. When I say I'm thorough with this, I am thorough because I don't want you guys wasting time. A lot of times we waste time on stuff that is not necessary and we overthink things. So I'm one of those people like, let's go, let's hit the ground running. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our niche. Nas was already ahead of the game. She put in her niche. She said, this is what I'm thinking about recruiting in. What do you think? And so I want you guys to post in there what your niche is. What are you thinking about recruiting in? What do you have a desire to recruit in? And if you're like, I have no idea, put in there, I have no idea. It is okay. It is okay. But the moment you put it in is the moment that you're going to start thinking about it. And then if you are someone who's like, I don't have any idea what I would recruit in, then I want you to think about, what do you have experience in? Everyone comes from a background. We all have experience in something. So you can go ahead and say, hey, this is what I have experience in. Or maybe, so for me, I was going to recruit in engineering. I was going to start recruiting engineers because my brother is an engineer. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. I'll just leverage you and what you know and your network, and we can do this, right? And I had them all ready to go, and then I was like, now I'm going to do something else. God told me to do. God told me to recruit in a different industry. But you don't necessarily have to be in the industry. You might know someone, one of your parents, one of your aunts, one of your uncles, one of your close friends. They might have been in the same industry for years. They have a massive network. You can tap into that. Okay, I love it. Health insurance, Medicare, administrative services and healthcare, customer service for small businesses. Yes. Okay. Healthcare tax prep. Listen, I'm recruiting an executive assistant for my CPA actually. Customer service and healthcare. And I wasn't even expecting to do that. She was just like, oh, can you find me someone? I was like, well, I ain't gonna turn it down. I'm not gonna turn it down. Healthcare and tech support, therapist, love it. Day says she I honestly don't know yet. Katana, not sure yet. So now Katana and Day, I want you guys to think about who do you know who has been in a certain industry for a while, right? What type of jobs have you always gotten? I know for me, I always got like customer service jobs or admin jobs. That was just like my thing. I don't know. I was nosy and I got them in different fields. It was always a different field, but that was kind of like the basis of it. So think about that too. And then also, it's so funny because I see no one that says like call center. Not y'all IBOs and y'all virtual call centers, and no one is saying call center. It happens every time though. I'm not mad at it. Credit repair, that's a good one. Legal consulting. Okay, Gia on TikTok says legal consulting. I love that. When I tell you that my CPA, so the 2 contracts that I got were by having a conversation with my tax professional because I was delaying filing my taxes. She paid it. She did the extension and everything. I was like, listen, I need to do this. And during the boot camp, I called her and I was like, let's just nail this down. Tell me what I need to give you. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna send you an email. We had a whole meeting. And she was like, yeah, by the way, I need an executive assistant, and so does my paralegal. And I was like, okay. And right there, I had two contracts. And I wasn't even trying to get it. It was just, I delayed doing something. God said, have this conversation. It ended up being 2 clients from that one conversation. And now I'm literally about to staff them. They're about to do their interviews for their candidates coming up next week. Some of this is going to be that you just have conversations, and once you have put it out that you're doing staffing and recruiting and actual placement for certain positions, that conversations are going to be had. Some of this is not going to be always a specific marketing strategy. I'm going to teach you all of those things, but also it's putting yourself out there because a lot of times we start businesses and we don't market them. We don't want to sell our business. We don't want to tell people about our business. We want people not to know about our business. How do you want to be in business and make thousands of dollars and no one knows? It's not possible. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And what we really don't want is we just don't want our family and friends to know. And instead of blocking them and taking our power back, we decide we're going to use that as the excuse. Or we start a business and we use our family as the marketing strategy. And then we get mad when they don't support and share or like or comment under our things. Anyone ever have that issue? I remember when I first was an entrepreneur, I had to deal with that inside of my head because it was a me problem. It wasn't a them problem. Like it was me being an amateur and not actually sitting down and figuring out what is my true marketing strategy. How do I need to position myself in the market to make thousands of dollars? And what I learned is the more that I put myself out there, the more support I got. And it wasn't from family, it was from strangers. You guys don't need family support. They're not there for that. Don't put that responsibility on them. You need to have confidence in yourself, right? I know, and this might be taboo, it might be something you guys know. You need to have more confidence in yourself. You need to stop looking for outside validation from your family and friends in the guise of support because you really don't need their support. You really don't need their support. You are going to always get more support from strangers than you will ever get from your family. And so once you just remove that out of your head in general, you are going to be a lot less stressed. You won't have these conversations. You won't have you're not going to be holding grudges and things like that against them. It won't matter. They are there to love you. They are not there to support every single business idea that you have. They're not there for that. They're not there to be your employees. They are there to love you. That's it. And so once you take that responsibility off of them that they never should have had, then you're going to be better off and your relationship is going to be salvaged. Because there's a lot of people that they ruin their family relationships because of business, and we should have never even did that. We should have never even put that responsibility on them. They didn't ask for it. They didn't sign up for it. You in your head told yourself that they had to support you because maybe you supported them a certain way in the past and you were expecting it to be reciprocated. That does not, what your expectations are has nothing to do with the reality of the situation. It's not their job. We still have people joining. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I need you guys to niche down. This is why I want you guys to niche down, because this is how you're going to market yourself. So I'm telling you guys to niche down. If you guys are like, anyone, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever felt like, if I niche down, I'm leaving money on the table. I don't want to niche down. I want to get access to all the money. I want to leave money on the table. I don't want to, what happens? There's going to be other opportunities. I'm going to miss them. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a lie. Okay. I want you guys to stop telling yourself that lie. I want you guys to adopt this belief right here. You see this belief? Because right now you have a belief. If you niche down, that you are going to miss money. That is your belief. We have to throw that belief away. At any moment, you can stop with believing certain beliefs and replace them with things that now serve the best version of you and your new journey. So we are going to trash that belief. That belief is not true. We are not even about to pretend like it's true. The real belief that you guys need to adopt is the riches are in the niches or the niches, however you want to say it, tomato, but that's where the riches lie. And I need you guys to adopt that belief because it is true. It's not just something we say. It's literally true. Because if you are marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one. So when you have your niche, it's going to make it easier for you to promote and market. Put a 2 in the chat if you are like, I know I'm supposed to be marketing online. I know that I'm supposed to be posting content, but I get so caught up on what to say that I just stop. I just don't do anything because I don't know what I'm supposed to be telling these people. I have no clue. The 2s are going crazy. Yeah. Well, guess what? That's because you're not niching down. You're not niching down, so you're trying to talk to the masses instead of talking to a specific person. And when you talk to a specific segment of that larger market, then you're able to come up with content ideas and because it simplifies it, right? Yes. I'm recovering overthinking. Yes, I'm an overthinker too. And I'm a recovering perfectionist and I'm a recovering introvert, right? I retitle myself all the time. I'm no longer an introvert. I'm no longer an overthinker. I'm a massive action taker. I do things even when I don't know what's going to happen after the fact. I'm not waiting for God to reveal everything. I just need him to say go and I'm going to go. I'll wait for him to do everything else on my journey. So I'm always redefining myself and becoming a different version of me. And I want you guys to be okay with that. This is going to be a journey of you becoming a different version of you. The better you are, the better you're going to become, the better your business is going to run, the more money you're going to make. So we need to go ahead and niche down. We niche down, and then when we niche down, now we can speak to a specific person. So for example, period. Let me scroll back up to one of you guys' example. I think so let's go with healthcare because there's a lot of healthcare in here. So we went with the healthcare sector, right? Which is good because I actually have a example in here about healthcare. We're going to go with healthcare. Name a specific role inside of healthcare. I want you guys to type in a specific role inside of healthcare. Any role. It could be administrative assistant. It could be registration intake, CNA, nurse. So nurse is too vague. I want you to be even more specific than nurse. Because there are different types of nurses, right? Claim specialist, physical therapist, triage nurse, NICU nurse. Exactly. Okay. Physical therapist, billing specialist. Okay. So Gia on TikTok says RN. I love it. Insurance verification specialist, very specific. Okay, so now imagine if you are like, I want to recruit in healthcare and you're trying to just make marketing for healthcare in general, right? Just in general. Healthcare is such a crazy industry. There's no way if there was a doctor and they were like, we need a, let me scroll down. We need a, what's a program specialist? We'll go with program specialist. We need a program specialist. We need a program specialist. And I'm over here and I'm saying, hey, I just staff everyone in the healthcare field in abundance, right? And Samantha is saying, I provide the top talent, the top program specialist to the healthcare industry or healthcare facilities. I connect those, what does program specialist do? Is it hospital? Is it, I don't even know, right? But they would know if you were talking specifically to them, and it's going to set you apart from everyone else. And then you're going to be able to specifically talk about things that only program specialists have to deal with in your marketing to bring in more clients. I need to do a different example. We'll use the example on a slide because I don't know what a program specialist is. So I'm trying to think of different things to say in the marketing, but I'll give you some examples when we in the next slide. But I want you guys to, now that we're talking about niching down and being specific, start thinking about that. You have your industry, but what specific roles, right? So when I was thinking about engineering, I was going to specifically do electrical engineers, not just engineers, but electrical engineers. And then I was also going to do them specifically for hospitals. I was getting very, very specific because I know the more I niche down, the more my value goes up and the more I am the expert in that specific field. And the more that everyone that needs that specific role is going to come to me because they don't want someone who just does, we just recruit engineers in general. No, I recruit the best talent in this specific field. No one else is going to find the right talent. I have all of them already under my staffing agency. We already have the rapport with them, all of those things, right? So the other thing is when you're doing your niche, when you start to do some research, the more your value goes up. Absolutely. When you start to do your niche and you do your research and you believe that competition is bad, like, oh my God, there's so much competition. I want you guys to think back to Arise because there's a lot of competition. You guys didn't care. You guys didn't care. You could care less. There's hundreds and thousands of IBOs. You guys did not care. You said, this is my thing. I'm doing it. I could care less about competition. Competition is good. It's a good sign. It means the market is tested and proved that there's money in the market for you. So when you see competition, if you say, oh my God, you see how many people in here said healthcare? Did it change any of your minds? Were you thinking like, I don't know if I want to do healthcare now because there's a lot of people saying healthcare, or I don't know if I want to do tech. There's a lot of people saying tech. I want you to have that same mindset you had about Arise. You did not care. Do not care now. If there's competition, that means it's good. That means there's money in the market and there's money for you. So now we're going to talk about niching down even further, profession versus industry, which we were just going into. Well, competition doesn't even make you work harder. We just have to figure out how to market ourselves where we are different, right? And that's where niching down comes in. And then also, we need to understand that the market is vast. It's $1 billion industry. Like there's money. You guys don't need a large piece of the pie. You can get a 0.001% and be a multimillionaire. We don't need a lot. The competition can be fine. I don't care about the competition. I don't even think about them. I don't even think about them. They're irrelevant. There's money in this is $1 billion industry. This is $1 billion global industry. And you know who is at the top? The US is at the top. So it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. We're going to work smart. We're going to do exactly what we need to do so that we can achieve our goals. We only need a small piece of the pie. We just need a crumb, a bite of it. We don't need a lot of it. So let's talk about profession versus industry. So you can either do niche down and you do your industries, and then you can do a sub industry inside of there. Or you can do, well, it would really be a sector and then an industry and then a sub-industry. And I'm going to show you an example in the next slide. But you can also do roles. So for example, some of you said admin. Administrative role is something that spans across multiple industries, right? So if you're saying, hey, I want to recruit for customer service or administrative, that's something that every single industry needs. So now you're not niching down to an industry specifically, you're niching down to a profession. So you're able to do that too. And most of the times that's going to be examples like health and safety roles, quality assurance roles, accountants is a good role if you are going to be recruiting in that industry. That profession stands over all of the industries, right? Even if you were like, hey, I just want to recruit for CFOs, the big money, big money. I just want to put chief financial officers in place for companies. Everyone needs that. Every business and every industry needs a CFO, right? So think about that too. It doesn't necessarily have to be an industry and a specific profession inside of that industry. It can be a profession that spans multiple industries. So you are able to do multiple. There's no limitations. This is not like so what we're going over, there's not a limitation on like a RAS. A RAS has limitations on estates, on different things. We don't have that limitation. We can recruit and staff in the US. We can recruit and staff for global. Yeah, we don't have that same limitation that we have when we're thinking about the partnership with the RAS. Now, when it comes to the websites, the placement sites, those are going to be mostly USA roles, but they do have global positions on there too that you can recruit for. So you can still do both, even with leveraging the placement sites. You can still do both. And so here's an example of when you niche down, right? And we're going to use the healthcare sector. Hey, did you guys see how many 158 sub-industries, 11 sectors, 69 industries, 158 sub-industries. Inside of the bootcamp, you guys get access to the PDF that has like every single sector and industry listed to help you dive more deeper into it. When I shared this with the past people in the bootcamp that just graduated, they were like, I cannot believe, like, I never knew that we can niche down this far. Like, I didn't even know some of the things even existed. And it immediately made them think differently and made them think bigger, and it made them change their niche, some of them. So we have healthcare, and then that's a sector, an industry, healthcare equipment and services. And these are just examples. This is just like a screenshot of one of the pages. And then we have pharmaceuticals and biotechnology, right? And then we go down, that's the industry group. Now we're going to go further into the industry. And then we have the sub-industry. And so let me give you an example of this. When we niche down, when we're doing general recruiting, where we're just saying, hey, I'm just going to recruit in healthcare. Or not even when we're doing freelance recruiting, meaning the ebook. We're doing freelance recruiting. It's all types of industries. If you weren't using the placement sites, typically your commission will be 15%. Because it's not specific enough. That's really not in demand. There's a lot of general recruiting agencies out there, and most companies already have a rapport with at least one of them. And so you're really not that valuable in the market. You're not setting yourself apart. Now, if you say, hey, I'm going to be more specific, I am going to go ahead and niche down in the healthcare sector. Now your commission raises. Do you see how your niche helps you with marketing, but also increases your value, which means increases your money? Do you guys see the correlation? So now your healthcare sector is more specific. You're at 18% commission. If you say, you know what, I'm going to be even more specific, and I'm going to recruit in the pharmaceuticals and biotechnology field, the industry, and then the sub-industry, right? Industry is pharmaceuticals, sub-industry is biotechnology. And this is these positions in that industry and sub-industry, their yearly salary is very, very high. So if you do that, now your value goes up more. You're separated from other recruiters. It's different from you saying, I recruit for healthcare versus I recruit the top talent in pharmaceuticals and biotechnology. It just sounds different. And when someone needs pharmaceuticals and biotechnology, are they going to go to someone who just does general recruiting for healthcare, or are they going to go to the professionals? The ones who say, this is my thing, this is all we do, this is who we focus on. We have the top talent in this industry, period. They're going to you. your commission increases. When you say, I'm going to be even more specific, and I'm going to go to biomedical engineer, another increase. You're being even more specific to the role and skill sets. 25% commission or higher, right? It's high demand. And sometimes you're able to just set your placement fee. And you say, hey, this is what our fee is. Our fee is 30%. Belinda says, is recruiting only for recruiting agency, or can an IBO of a virtual call center do it as well? This is a lot of information. Is it too much? Opal, is it too much? Am I giving away too much information for free? I have to do like a throat spray, guys.
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
No, ma'am, you're not. No, the hell you're not.
Is it too much? I know I was like, I'm going to try to do it in an hour. I knew I couldn't do it in an hour. I was like, I'll ask for forgiveness instead of permission. I think they'll be okay with it. I think they'll be okay with it.
If they they're making money, they should leave now. So it's just enough room for us. Okay. See y'all later.
CSA. Exactly. I only want to talk with the people that have big goals and really want to make money. If you don't want to make money, I'm sorry, it's not the training. You probably are used to fluff and people not really sharing information. I can share all this information because it doesn't matter. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly looking for new information. I'm literally looking for ways to pioneer so I can make this easier for everyone that's behind me, right? Because I don't care about giving out the information. And also, it's like, are you going to do it? Most times we give out information, people don't do it. I know that I'm talking to action takers and money makers, so I know that you guys are going to do it. But for the most part, I could have paid for this. This is a paid training. But I was like, no, I'm going to go and do it for free.
You already know where I'm at with it.
I know that voice. I already know the voice. Okay, so now let's go into, so Belinda, I lost the question. Let me go back up. Belinda asked, is recruiting only for recruiting agency or an IBO of a virtual call center do it as well? Belinda and everyone else that's an IBO, I got news for you. If you still think you're a virtual call center, you can go ahead and stop believing that. You're not. You are a recruiter in a staffing agency already. You are a recruiter, okay? You're not a virtual call center. Virtual call centers, they need software. You don't have the software that's needed. You know how they go with the Rise, and then the Rise, they get the what is the name of the software on the Rise?
They need an omni-channel.
Yeah, you need well, that's the software that Arise uses, but you need that. You don't have that, right? And then you need direct clients. You need clients where they're actually picking up the phone and talking to their customers. So you're not actually operating as a virtual call center. You can, I teach that if you want to, but you're already a recruiter and staffing agency. So you're here because you're supposed to be here. This is where God wanted you to be. This is not by happenstance. This is not a coincidence. You didn't just find me because you were scrolling. No, God sent you here because you needed to be here, because you needed this information. So you can absolutely do it, Belinda, because you're already a recruiter. You are already this. Okay, so Nani says she has a heart out at 10. She wants information. Okay. We're closing right now. I promise you guys we're wrapping it up right now. So these are the five steps. We're going to niche down. We're going to get our LinkedIn pages. I told you guys the process is simple. The hard work is actually doing it. We're going to niche down. We're going to get our LinkedIn pages, a business and personal page. We're going to optimize both. When I say optimize both, that means we're niching down. We're talking about our niche. There's some other things that go into optimizing it. I will have to do a training on that specifically. Maybe I'll do one and it'll be like $25 or something for those who don't get into boot camp, and you guys can still learn how to optimize your LinkedIn page. But you need to optimize your LinkedIn page because that's going to speak directly to your clients that you're going to attract and the candidates that you're going to attract. Both are money makers. Both are money makers. And then you're going to get your ATS system. ATS just stands for applicant tracking system. If you're in the boot camp, I've already got that covered for you. You don't have to worry about that. But you are going to need an ATS system to help you with keeping track of these people. I use Go High Level for everything. There are other ATS systems. With Go High Level, you'll have to like create the funnel and things like that to keep track of them, and create different automations, which is simpler than it sounds. But there's other ATS systems. You can do a Google search. If you get the ebook, I give you examples inside of the ebook of ATS systems that are budget friendly, but a quick Google search, right? And then you need your marketing strategy. We need our marketing strategy, and then we do outreach. I teach you guys how to do outreach, which allows you to get people on the call, on your phone, booking calls with you, companies and candidates, ready for you to place them, and clients waiting for you to connect them with your talent. I teach you all of this inside of the boot camp. So again, this is a difference, right? I put it in here twice because people always ask me the difference. So I'm just listing it twice. Ebook, site's already there. Bootcamp, you're going to get everything. I'm talking about contracts, email templates, text templates, your software already created for you, your funnels created for you for your applicants, a specific way that you're going to outreach, and we're going to be reaching out to specific clients and candidates. So we're not just going after anybody. We want certain people. I think Zoho would be fine. So meet Sierra. Not that Sierra, this Sierra. This is Sierra. She just graduated my boot camp. When Sierra met me, she had no idea what she was going to recruit for. She started off with me because of she wanted to be an IBO. And I was like, and then she was like, well, you have the virtual call center in there. I'm going to automate my Arise, and then I'm going to start onboarding direct clients for the BPO virtual call center side. And I was like, great. And then I released the fact that I was on a boot camp, and she signed up immediately. She literally had just became a client in my business inbox, and she signed up immediately. And I was like, okay, Sierra, you move fast. And so Sierra got in and she was like, I don't know what industry I'm about to recruit for. But she was like, I really want to get people into cybersecurity. I want to help Black individuals jump into this industry. It's a lucrative industry. It's not enough of us in there. I want to help them start getting entry-level positions. I was like, love it. Love it, love it, love it. So if you're asking yourself, do I need to have experience in the industry? You don't. Now, Sierra was struggling with imposter syndrome. She was like, I tried so many businesses before. I have put them all on social media. I don't know if my family is going to support me. I don't know if they're going to feel any type of way. I was like, girl, block them and let's move on. Who cares? Block them. I said, you haven't, because her fear of what other people thought, their judgment, that was directly affecting her doing the activities to make money. She wasn't posting. She wasn't marketing her business. She wasn't changing her LinkedIn. She was just delaying certain things. And I was like, Sierra, what are we doing? Why haven't we done some of these things? They should have been done. And it was because of the imposter syndrome and the fear of judgment that she was going through. And then she also felt like, can I really help people break into this industry if I know nothing about it? So she didn't believe enough in herself. So I was like, listen, yes, you can do it, because they don't know anything about the industry. You already know more than they know. You're already the expert. You don't have to know everything. You're okay. You're a beginner. Everyone starts off as a beginner. She had to embrace that. She had to shift her mindset. She had to adopt new beliefs. So she did this, no experience in her niche. She invested in herself, time and money, right? She invested in learning more about the industry. She went out, did some research, found some other professionals that were teaching what certifications and things like that, because that was her business strategy. She wanted to not only place them, she wanted to start from the beginning of introducing them to the industry, telling them what type of certifications and things that they needed, and then place them. That's what she wanted to do. So she invested in that, and she committed to becoming the best version of herself so that she could be the person that they would be able to trust with placing them. And while she was in the boot camp, the last 2 weeks, I promise you, the last 2 weeks of the boot camp, they were like, I felt like they knew like it was coming to an end. They were like, no, we're about to push. We're about to do this. So she landed 5 MPCs. So MPCs in the industry is what we refer to as most placeable candidates. It's the top talent, right? They are the most marketable. She landed 5 MPCs. Once she has them placed, she's going to make 15K or more each off of each one. And so I don't want you, when we're thinking about direct clients, your clients are going to be the candidates and the companies. Because if you get the candidates first, you just go after the companies. If you get the companies first, you go after the candidates. Doesn't matter which one you land first. Your job is to get them placed and get payment. It doesn't matter which one. The other thing that she was able to do, because she researched and she wanted to invest in learning about her industry, she was able to cultivate partnerships with the institutions that certify them. And she was able to find other individuals that were in the market that were teaching people how to jump in the industry. So now she's adding more value to their marketing and in their business, because now not only will they educate them on how to get into the industry, but now they have a placement partner, which is Sierra. So she will always have top talent to immediately place into these entry-level positions. And now all she needs is to keep going after the clients, right? And to keep marketing, letting the clients know that she is the person with the top talent. Not only will she have that, but now she has the institutions. The institutions are going to market her themselves. Your network is your net worth. So this is Cornelia. Cornelia graduated from the boot camp. And Cornelia was one of those individuals, she was just ready. She got into the boot camp. She did every lesson as it dropped. She, like, whether it was the personal development side, reading and implementing the book that we read, whether it was doing her time management so she can make her business priority and rearrange her schedule, whether it was, editing her software and her website, whatever it was, Cornelia was like on top of it. She was always one of the first people done. She had some experience in her niche. She decided to go in healthcare, specifically for RN. But she had to step out of her comfort zone, right, to do this. She implemented the information immediately. She prioritized her business. She prioritized her personal development. She didn't say, oh, I just know everything. I don't need to read the book. I don't need to do this, because a lot of times we do that. She was like, if you say this is what's going to make me become better and it's going to equate to more money, I'm doing it, and I'm doing it immediately. So Cornelia landed her 15K direct hire contract the 7th week of the boot camp with a client, with a company. A company reached out to her and said, I need you to hire this. The same week that happened for her, she partnered with her alma mater. She got out of her comfort zone. She sent out that email. She said, you know what? I'm going to send out an email to my alma mater, and I'm going to try to facilitate a call with them, with the decision makers in the university, and I'm going to see if I can be their placement for nursing. Do you know that they ended up bringing other individuals in on that call, which led her to now be the placement for new graduates in other industries, not just nursing? So she's always going to have top talent that she can pull from at any time. And including the method that I teach her, which is a whole different method from the partnership. And on top of that, she hired her first team member. So and this was in 8 weeks. This is what happened in 8 weeks. Sierra she wasted like 4 weeks. I'm not gonna say she wasted it, because it was a part of her growth. She had to grow into a better version of herself. It took her a little bit of time. But she did it rapidly. It took her 4 weeks to turn into a whole nother version of herself. Right? Cornelia was like, hey, I'm doing all of this immediately, and we're getting this done. Both of them had amazing results. And there's just 2 out of the 10. This is just the 2 that I decided to pick to talk about today. But they both had amazing results, but they trusted the process. They committed to becoming another version of themselves and getting out of the way. I promise you, you are the problem. If you don't take anything else from this training, you are the problem. You are going to be the reason why you either succeed or fail. Because if you lack consistency, if you lack self-discipline, if you get distracted by every shiny object on social media and every person that says you can make $1,000 doing this and this and that, and you don't really commit to your own vision, you're going to be the problem. If you are someone who feels like, I don't need to grow as an individual, I don't need to read a book, I don't need to read self-help, I don't need to, change my time management, you're going to be the problem. I promise you, every single time. Every level that I went through in business, I was the problem. Like, I was stopping me from going to the next level. So, and Cornelia is the truth. She's definitely the truth. I love her. The other thing is, I want you guys to put in the chat, and we're closing it out now. But if you put in the beginning that you desire to build a business that could do generational wealth, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. Okay, I was supposed to say I only see 2 ones. Let me find out. Am I not talking to the right people? Okay, here they come. Here's the ones. All right. Okay, one's on TikTok too. I love it. I haven't forgot about y'all. This is why it's important that Cornelia did her first team member, and we're going to close out after this. It's important that she hired her first team member is because most of us, and I'm saying Black people, if you're white on here, there's no shade, but just my community, we are amateurs when it comes to business. I know this because I was an amateur for a very long time. We want to have multi-million-dollar businesses. We want to have generational wealth. We have the desire, we have that vision, and that is what is driving us to always keep looking for a business to do and to tap into entrepreneurship. However, what we don't do is actually do business right. We do not invest in team members. We delay in investing in team members. We have an unhealthy relationship with money, and we feel like we don't want to pay someone else, or we feel like, well, by the time I teach them how to do it, I could do it myself. And so I'll just do it myself. But then what that leaves you with is a job and not a business. We are not actually operating as business owners. The way that you actually operate as a business owner is when you replace yourself out of that business, when that business can operate without you being present. When I got sick for 4 days, no one knew I was sick for 4 days. I was so sick that I didn't even message my assistant. I didn't even message her. But guess what? Nothing was undone. She posted on my social media. She answered all of my DMs. She answered all of the emails. She took care of the client. She did nothing. No one would have known that I was gone. The payment still rolled in. Invoices still got submitted. Nothing stopped. And I'm about to put on the next 2 members of my team because I have to grow my team to the next level of the growth that I'm expecting. But you guys have to start thinking about business in a way of, okay, when we start off, we're solopreneurs, understood. Then we're going to jump into being an entrepreneur. First thing you're going to do is hire you an assistant so you can have more time to think. Wealth is built by thought, not by doing. Wealthy people pay people to do so that they can sit back and think. So I want you guys to get out of the I'm a doer. You're not the doer. I don't want you to always think about how much work this is going to entail for you. It's going to entail a lot of work for you up front. Then you're going to learn how to delegate, which is another version of yourself. I had to learn how to delegate. I was not good at it. I was good at doing the work myself. I had trust issues. I don't know if I trust people with my information. I gotta get them logins. I have to train them. I have to wait for them to catch on. They're not smart enough. That was my mindset. I had to evolve. So I want you guys to start thinking as business as, yes, you will start off a certain way, but you have to evolve and you're going to have to start building a team. A team is when, if you die, God forbid, but it happens to all of us, that team is already in place. The family is still taken care of. The business is still going. So we have to think about it that way, right? We need to make sure that we are not just saying we want these goals, but we're taking actions to have the goals make sense. Talia got it. Okay, so we're gonna close out. I know I've kept you too long. Just to reiterate, this is not hard. What's hard is you becoming the other version of yourself, right? You don't need experience in any of this. You don't need to get your feet wet with the rise. You don't need to, because that's just saying I'm just trying to build up my confidence, right? When we're like, let me get my feet with the rise, and that's okay. It's like, I just want to get my confidence up. I feel like this might be easier to build it up. It's just wasting time. You're going to do it all anyway. You're going to have to do it all anyway, the same exact things. Oh, can we still see the website? Oh, okay, yes. My phone died on TikTok. I'm so sorry for them. They should have got on the link. Okay, so I'm gonna send you guys the website. I'm gonna pull up the website now. Let me stop sharing my screen. But just know you have to be willing to accept that you're gonna be a beginner. You have to adopt new beliefs, and it's going to take a lot of inner work. That's what's going to come to you being successful. That's what it's going to come to. So let me pull up this example. If you guys are like, hey, I want to get into the boot camp, the boot camp is linked in my Stand store. The boot camp is linked in my Stand store. It's $2,500 for 12 weeks. If anyone has been around me for any substantial amount of time, you know that I've never offered this amount of access to me for this price point. Usually it's 10K or up. So you're going to get access to me to have me in your back pocket for 12 weeks because I don't even offer this. I'm not 12 weeks daily. And even in my 10K, you were only going to talk to me once a week. We were only going to do a call once a week. It was not no daily access. It was not no daily access. So you get daily access. You also get the full course. You get your template for your website already done, your ATS system, all the things that you need are already done for you. And then I have something even better that I'm about to give to you guys. It's only 5 slots for this though. So if you go in now and you put in Masterclass as a coupon code, you're going to get 50% off. I'm only limiting this discount to 5 people, so you have to do it in real time, right? If you're someone who likes to delay and to procrastinate and to, you need to, whatever it is, you need to ask God for more confirmation. This is the confirmation. Stop playing with him, okay? He doesn't need to tell you 20 times. He already told you when you jumped on the call. He told you throughout this call. He told you before the call. He told you when you were scrolling through social media looking for different ways to make money. He told you when you were with the Rise and you're like, I need to find a direct client. He already told you. I love Talaya. She is like, Talaya needs to be on my team. So I'm gonna bring up the website right now for you guys. For you 59 who's stuck behind, you guys are about to see one of the websites now. I'm logging into it, but while I'm logging into it, do you guys have any random question? We have time for maybe like 2 questions and then we'll close it out after looking at this site.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment.
Okay, I'm here for it.
But I just want to say thank you for all this information tonight. Like this has been amazing. But I am so glad that I'm signed up for your emails and I saw this email come up to do this webinar because I just signed up for their Rise platform like a month ago. And I was in the process of starting my IBO, but I'm the type of person where I like to get in the weeds and see how it looks from the back end, so I know how to coach from the front end. So I was like, well, I can't sign up these agencies if I've never seen how it works. So I was like, well, I'm going to sign up as an agent. So I did I signed up and I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and get signed up for classes. And when I say I was checking this portal, I don't know how many times a day, no classes. And when there was a class, it was gone. Like I click it and I got an error screen. And so I was like, dang, how am I supposed to sign people up and I can't even get in on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See,
And
so you know.
mhm. So I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. Like maybe I should not like try to get other people on because I'm struggling to get on. And I took a step back as far as like starting my IBO with the Rise, and I was like, okay, we need the remix. We need the game plan. And then literally your email popped up in my inbox. And I was like, she's leaving a Rise. She's one of the reasons why I was about to join a Rise. And then boom, here we are. So I was like, yep, nope,
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, and like I said, Arise is great. I love Arise. It's just they are shifting, right? It's no longer the opportunity it once was, and there's so many people. I've literally helped hundreds of people get access to a rise, start their call centers, just get access to that information. And I would have been doing a disservice if I didn't come out and say, which I already do on TikTok, but I need to go into a training and actually dive more deeper into this, because if I'm going to lead you all to the water, I need to let you know when the water is tainted. Like, I need to let you know when I'm going to a different well to get better water, because what we're not about to do is, and that's what I hate about TikTok, is that I see a lot of people just leading people to destruction. It's like, oh, we're just after money, money, money. I'm doing all of this in real time. If I didn't get on any training, I would be fine. My life would not change. But I have a mission, right? I have a purpose. God has put it on my life, even though I tried to stop doing business coaching. He was like, no, you're just going to do it differently in a different industry. And so I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys this information. Even if you still go with the rise, it's fine. But I want you guys to have an educated decision. I want you guys to know like what's happening behind the scenes, that everyone is pretending isn't happening behind the scenes, especially if you're going to invest at a certain level. Latanya, welcome to the boot camp. I saw that you just process your payment. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tiffany, welcome to the boot camp. Okay, so
That
there's only 3
was my
spots left.
proverbial rent.
Yes, I love it. Tiffany said, I took a leap of faith, sis. Yes, it's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. The people in the boot camp, they 3x their investment, 5x their investment. Some of them more. So it's gonna pay off. We just gotta do the work. We just gotta do the work. I'm excited. And we're starting soon, guys. Now you guys are gonna have access to the course and everything basically immediately, right? You guys are gonna be able to log in. And then we will start actively being in a chat on the 8th, and we're going to hit the ground running. Before last boot camp, they had to wait for lessons to drop. You guys aren't going to have that issue. You guys get to move at a more rapid pace. So that's different about the boot camp too. So I'm excited for you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then also, if you are like, hey, I don't know if I can afford it, go ahead, click the link, right? If you have Afterpay, if you have Klarna, if you have those things, you can still use those, leverage those. And then there's also, I think Sandstore has like a custom payment option too. Well, it'll split it for you. So you have those options too. If you guys still want to invest and you're like, I can't do the upfront right now, but you have those partnerships with those other third parties, you can do that. Okay, so you guys ready? I'm gonna share my screen with the site. And then also, if you're like, hey, I can't afford the boot camp, get the ebook. Don't let that be the reason why. Get the ebook. Get the ebook, and still same thing. You can use Klarna, all of that, but we just went over the sites. We went over how lucrative the sites are, and I'm about to show you one of them. So get the ebook. Get access to the sites, get access to the millions of dollars. You guys inside of the bootcamp, you already have this ebook, so you don't have to worry about accessing it. Get the ebook, get someone hired, and now you can invest, right? Do that. We don't always look at it as a goal. Anytime someone is like, oh my God, or I'm with a coach and they're like, I want to get in their program. I'm like, how do I start asking myself how. Stop saying you can't afford it. Ask, how can I afford this? What do I need to do so that I can afford it, right? Because then that gives your brain the thought process of let's figure out a way. Let's look for solutions, versus if you shut it down, you're telling the universe you don't really want it. So start saying, how can I afford it? Not I can't afford it. Okay, so let me share my screen. So this site is spilittle.com, right? Can everybody see my screen? Put a 1 in the chat. We still have 3 spots sold. Is it sold out? Oh, let me check. I'll open up more spots. Okay, you guys can see the screen. Oh, wait a minute. So let me go back to this. Wait, let me stop sharing so I can open up more spots for you guys. I don't know if it's sold. I think I need to refresh. I think on my end it's still saying 3. Tell me what error message you're getting when you try to process your payment. if you guys are getting an error message, let me know. It might be that you guys are all processing at the same time and I can't see it. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so here we go. It says item is no longer available. Okay, let me open up more spots for you guys. It's crazy because I was like, I'm gonna limit it. I might need to. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn it on. Let me update. Okay, there we go. It's updated. Refresh your screen and you should be good. Let me go back to the site for you guys to see. Yep, refresh your screen and then you should be good to go. And here we go. So you guys see this, you see this site? Go ahead and log it. You guys can sign up for the site. It doesn't require you to have a LinkedIn page or anything. You will need it for the other sites. The other sites, they are going to do like a background check on you. And their version of a background check is to verify if you have a LinkedIn page and that you're an actual recruiter. So you're going to want to do that before signing up for the other sites if you get the ebook. But do you guys see the commissions? Director of Electrical Engineering, commission 14,000 to 18,000. And this is based upon the salary that they end up accepting an offer for. So when you guys are saying, I want to make 10,000, I want to make 12,000, I want to make 15,000, this is just one site. This is just one site. These are the commissions. You literally can go ahead and place this on your site and start accepting applications. You can go live on TikTok and start saying that you are hiring in the engineering field. They always have a lot of engineering field jobs on here. They also usually have legal jobs. That's like the main ones that they typically have. Okay, does everyone have the site though? I want you guys to pull up the site and sign up. And then I'm gonna troubleshoot. If you guys are trying to pay and you're like, I'm ready to get in a boot camp, just stick around with me really quick. I'm gonna do some troubleshooting with you all. And then everyone else, I want to make sure you guys have this site. Let me put it in the chat really quick. And Nani, I know that you have a hard stop and I've already did you pass your 15 minutes. So we'll make sure you get into boot camp. Give me 1 second. Let me stop sharing my screen. And then for everyone else, check the chat and go ahead and go to the site and sign up. And and they do weekly. I know that someone had mentioned the weekly calls. They do the weekly calls. And let me tell you what else about that site while I bring up my Sandstorm. When you go on the weekly calls, you're going to see a bunch of foreigners on those calls. And the person that owns the company is foreigners. And you know who they are targeting? American clients. Imagine how much money that is equating to in their country. Right? So don't let someone else from a whole nother country come and take advantage of something that's right in your backyard. Don't let that be the reason why. Because if they can do it and they're thousands of miles away, then you can do it too. All right, so let me refresh my Standstore on my end. And update it and see. And while I'm doing this, is there anyone besides payment questions? Is there anyone else that has questions? Let me see. Nani, Opal, T, and Samantha. Let me make sure that we get you in. Okay, on my end, everything is looking good, guys. Can one of you guys unmute and tell me Can you unmute and tell me the specific like error code? I don't have a referral code. I'm sure I do, but I don't know it, so it's okay. It's all right. I appreciate y'all though. Y'all like, we're gonna give you your credit. Thank you. That is your question of the referral code is enough for me. Maisha says that we found out how to start becoming a recruiter via the ebook. Yeah, so freelance. So the ebook is really focused on you jump starting your freelance recruiting and leveraging those placement sites, right? And so that's what the ebook is really focusing on. And then I saw someone with their hand up. Who has their Nani? Nani, you have your hand up? You can unmute at any time.
Yeah, I have my hand up. I keep getting kicked out of the website. So maybe I need to like pause for a second.
It might be. Not y'all breaking stand store. Let's do this. Let me see. I'm gonna make a list. I'm gonna send you guys an email. Can you guys send me, because it's morning time for me. I know it's night for you guys. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and send you an email. If you aren't able to go ahead and process payment, I'll send you a direct email with the payment link with the discounted offer.
Okay.
All right, Samantha, let me grab your email. And then yes, there will be another boot camp. This one is going to run July, August, September until September. This one is going to run till September. So we will see how this boot camp, I don't have a date for the next one. The moment that I do though, I am going to go ahead and place it. I'll have another call and I'll update you, or I'll send out an email so you don't have to worry about like, hey, if there's another one, I don't want to miss it. Or if you were someone, I had in the last boot camp, I had actually 2 individuals, they started like 2 weeks late because they were like, hey, I can't make the payment until this date. So, but the information that's in there, right? You're going to have me in your back pocket for 12 weeks. That's the only limitation on the boot camp. Everything else you'll have access to for a lifetime. It's just my personal support is limited to 12 weeks. As far as having access to the course and other things, you'll have that for a lifetime. So if you're like, hey, I can't do it at the very beginning of it, but I still want to jump in this session, I don't want to wait 3 months, you can do that because you're still going to have access to everything. And like I said, it's a couple of weeks, right? If you're diligent, you're really going after it, it's only going to take you a few weeks to really see progress. Okay, so I have Samantha, I have your email. Nani, I have yours. Tawana, I have yours also. Is there anyone else I missed before we close out the call? Because I know it's late for you guys. I don't want to hold you. And then Opal. Opal, I didn't get your email. If you want to send it to me. You're welcome, Tia. You're welcome.
Sorry, hi. It's Nani again.
Hey, Nani.
If we're able to process the payment, because I think I'm about to be able to process it, will you know?
Yeah, I'll know. It'll pop up
Okay.
on my Sandstorm.
Okay. Okay, let me type in
Yeah,
these
and
numbers.
then okay. And then I have the emails from, okay, there's more emails coming to me directly. Okay, let me get these. Okay, not y'all about to close out the boot camp. They're about to be mad. There's a few ladies that have reached out to me. They're going to be mad. Maybe I'll open it up to more than 10 people. We'll see. I like to serve you guys on a higher level, so I don't want to stretch myself too thin, right? I want to be able to be available when you guys are ready.
I wrote it in the chat, but I'm still going to tell you. You are awesome, as always. Love you to
Thank
death,
you, Tisha.
as always. And I would never, that's why I said that was my proverbial rent because I remember your story. It's like, where does 10K gonna come from? Right. Because I'm like, where does 1250 about to come from? You know what? Well, it's about to come off this card that's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be paying this bill in 12 days.
Listen, we got this. My first investment in a coach, I paid my rent. I was like, I might be homeless.
Right. That's what I'm like. Well, right.
It paid off though, because when you have that level of sacrifice and that level of investment in yourself, you're like, no, this has to work. Like there's no other option but for it to work. Right. And
Hmm.
sometimes God puts us in positions where it's do or die because he knows we need that push. We need that fire lit up under us. And so now, yeah, I don't bat an eye. If I feel like it's out of my reach, I'm like, it must come with a crazy like outcome, like something either I'm going to transform rapidly or I'm going to have a financial growth. Even if I transform that, it's going to increase my value in the market. So I'm always like, yeah, we're going to figure it out. How am I going to do this?
That's literally what I was doing. Like, I was just sitting here, like, we're going to figure this out. Even I have to tell this other creditor, like, you know what? You just gonna have to wait a few more days.
Sometimes we got to rob Peter to pay Paul, right? And the business
Yep.
is going to help us pay everybody. So they just going to have to sit back for a little bit, let me work, and everybody will get payment when I get paid.
Literally, literally.
Like, listen, they are multimillionaires. The companies that we're paying bills to, they have the money. They'll be
Hmm.
okay. We just have to. It just puts a fire up under us. And like I said, this boot camp, you guys are not going to have to wait for lessons to drop. And the other boot camp, they were waiting. Like I had them waiting, and they had to show me that they were ready for the next lesson. Like they had to do action behind it. This one, I'm just like, no, I'm just giving them everything immediately. So I'm expecting you guys to like have rapid growth even faster than they did.
I had a
You
I do
already know
remember
what I do with that.
I had another question.
Okay.
Um, so I haven't launched my BPO yet. Does that matter?
No,
Okay.
two totally different things.
Okay.
Yeah, two totally different things. And then also, Nani, this is actually going to help you with the BPO side because it's still, even with BPO, there's still a level of staffing and recruiting, right? Because you have to build your team.
Yeah, I have a lot of people who I told them that I'd be launching my BPO at the end of August, and they're like purchasing equipment. So I was like, oh, I got to really do this. So
Yeah, and you're really going to do it. And yeah,
yeah.
we're just going to multitask. So when we get on those coaching calls and inside of the chat, we're just going to plan out and structure how you're going to launch both.
Okay.
We're just going to have to be very mindful of our time. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta talk to you. Okay.
Yeah.
But
You're going
I'll
to
wait
have
for
me
the
in your
boot
pocket
camp.
for 12 weeks. 12 weeks.
Yeah.
You'll have me in your back pocket. So you're going to be fine.
Okay.
Yes, Talia's in. I see that you're in. Welcome. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Who else do we have? I just saw another one come through. Let me go back. Two just came through. Antonia, am I saying that right? Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. And then we have Trinette. Okay, I can mark off some of these emails because you guys are getting in. So I love it. I love it. So if you were having issues, if you send me your email, it's working now. It's working now.
I was trying
Yes,
to.
listen.
It's Antonia, but
Antonia, okay. Thank you for correcting me. I love when people correct me on the name because people butcher my name, right? And I used to be so like scared to tell them like, hey, you're saying it wrong. But yeah, no, correct me. And I'm gonna be upfront. I'll probably butcher it again.
that's okay.
I'm gonna get better. I'll get better over time. I'm good with faces. Sometimes the names, not so much.
I'm the same way,
But we're
so
gonna
no
be
worries.
family. Yeah, we're about to be best friends in this 12-week boot camp. So you'll be fine. You guys are welcome. And also I do private coaching. So when it comes to private coaching, and this is why I say I've never given this type of access to me, at this price point. Like you'll never get access to this. So if you wanted to get private coaching with me, it's $600 a week. right? So just imagine you guys just paid the discounted price of $12.50 to have me for 12 weeks. No one has ever, like, I'm not giving this type of access to me, because I'm very mindful of who I work with. And then also I have other businesses, right? I have a whole software company that I manage. I have a call center that I manage. A coaching community that I manage. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm very mindful of who I spend my time with. And then I also have my own coaches, and they require me to do all these other things. So yes, you are. Talia, you're gonna be better than me. You're gonna be better than me because you're gonna be able to move faster. You're gonna take all of this information I'm giving you and 10x it. You're gonna be way better than me and way faster. I'm speaking that into existence. I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me. I want to be like, listen, I met Talia and oh my God, she's the best thing since sliced bread. She made 100K before in a month before I did, right? Because that is what you should be doing. If I'm giving you all the blueprint and I had to go through all this information, all these experiences to learn it, and you get to get it like that, I'm expecting you to like 10x it. I'm expecting you to hit the ground running and be like, yes, I got this. So you're going to be better than me. We're speaking that into existence now. Every single one of you are going to be better than me. I want you to. I want the success story. I'm kind of, I guess this is selfish of me. I don't really care about the money. I want the success story. I want to know that you were successful. I want to be a part of your legacy. I want like there's certain coaches that they will forever be a part of my legacy. I want to be a part of your legacy. I want to know that, hey, I had a part in that. It was a small little part. She had to do all the work, but I had a little tiny part in that, right? That's the impact that I want to have. But you guys are going to be amazing. Let me see who else, if I missed anybody else, because I want to congratulate all. Samantha. Samantha's in. Did I already say Samantha was in?
No, I just was able to do it, so I'm so happy. And I can say this for all of us here, like we're so grateful for you. And yeah, boot camp girlies, I can't wait for us to be successful. Like we're gonna do
Yeah,
it.
and we got a couple of days, y'all. We have a couple of days. On the 8th, the 8th comes on. We'll start the chat on the 8th. Our first call is going to be, if you guys want to do it, we can do our first call on the 7th. I'll put it in the chat. We'll start talking about it. I'll open the chat up early. You guys can actually click the link and jump in there now. But we might do our first call on the 7th on Sunday. And but you guys are in here now. So now I'm super pumped. I'm like ready to go to work now, and it's bedtime for you. It's bedtime for you, and I'm over here like I must be wired for the entire day. Like it's my morning time. I'm wired. Okay, so we are next week is going to be life changing. Y'all get y'all schedules together. Put everybody on notice. I'm taking this big leap of faith. My responsibility is about to 10x. I don't have time to be playing games with you all. I'm not going to be answering my phone to do any gossip or anything like that. Like we're about to hit the ground running. Okay, so go ahead and put everybody on notice. Enjoy your holiday because the next 12 weeks we're on a mission to make money. Yeah, well, we're still gonna go to sleep.
Can you say what
We're
date
still
the sorry, can you say what date the boot camp starts again?
on the 8th. So it starts on the 8th on Monday.
On Monday. Okay.
It starts on the 8th. And that just means that you guys you literally have access to everything right now. You guys just purchased you guys have login information. You guys literally have access right now. I'm just saying the chat opens up on the 8th. But at this point, I'm just going to probably open the chat up today, to be honest with you. If I'm being honest, since we're on this call, I'm going to open the chat today. I'm just too excited. I'm wired. We're not about to wait. So I was going to wait, but we're definitely not about to wait now. And we'll just let everyone else, as everyone else joins, we'll let them come in because we still have 3 spots. We still have 3 spots left. So if you guys are like, so let me send you the link. If you guys are like, hey, I still want to jump in, there's still 3 spots left. And if you are someone who is like, I want to jump in, but I might need 2 weeks to jump in, send me a direct message. You need to send me a direct message so that I know, or drop your email in the chat so that I can send you an email and then you can reply to it and give me the rundown on, what you need. so that you can still jump in. I am willing to go ahead and open up a few more slots. I can't open up a lot, but I'm willing to open up a few more slots. But yeah, the discount is Masterclass. And the link, where's the link at? Let me find the link again.
What time do classes start for the masterclass?
So each week we're going to have a coaching call. It's typically on Sundays. The last boot camp we did it at 8 p.m. We did it in the evening. But I'm flexible with the times because I'm 11 hours ahead of you guys. So we'll decide inside of the chat as a group what time really fits best for everyone.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have a workaround. And then you guys will have access to the recordings if you missed a call. Now if you miss a call, you'll just have to, watch the recordings and miss out on the great energy during the call. But you'll be fine. You'll still get the information. But you want to make sure that we once we solidify the date and the time, the day of the week and the time, we need to make sure that we are carving out that time, right? Prioritizing it, because those coaching calls are when we see the biggest impact, because it's different from working on yourself and then getting on a coaching call and being held accountable and sharing your wins and hearing the different things that other people are going to. That's going to stir up a different fire in you. And then we also are able to strategize specifically for each person. And so that's why there's a limited amount of people also, because we don't want to have I don't mind, but I don't want every coaching call to be like 3-4 hours, right? If it leads to transformation, it's worth it, but I also don't want that to be every call.
Quick question,
Okay.
Quay.
I got you. What is it?
On the so like for the modules that come out, I know you said there's a lot of stuff, a lot of materials and stuff that you're going to be giving us. Are there going to be like GHL snapshots in there too? Like, is that part of it?
Yeah, yep. So you guys have access to either, if you're not already in my system with Go High Level, then you can, if you're in it, then I'm just going to share it to your profile. If you're not in it, you want to get your own, then I'm going to go ahead and send you the link so you can download everything. So yep, Tiffany, head of the game. We are here.
Okay.
We
Okay.
here.
I was just checking,
I got you. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
When I
you.
say I'm sharing everything, I'm sharing everything. We here. There's whatever I know you guys are about to know and more. And more. Because I don't know if I told you guys, but I have a coach. Like it's not that you just get me. You actually get access to my coach. So if there's something that is like above my level, or if I feel like, hey, I need to like enlist someone else, I have a whole coach. He's built multi-million-dollar companies, recruiting and staffing companies. He's on his third one. This third one, he did $1 million in 7 months. So you guys are not just getting me and all of my wonderful information, but I'm tapping into him too, so that we can strategize for you guys. So you're not just getting me. So Belinda, outside of this, so outside of this, if you are like, hey, I really love virtual call center, Belinda had a great question. She said, is there anything else that you offer that will help us get direct clients? I do. So the other thing that I offer is that you can, right now on my Stand Store, there is a 5-day replay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure anyone at Tiffany has access to the 5-day replay. She actually has access to the entire boot camp. I mean, the entire business inbox, I think. Do you? I'm wondering. But I know she has access to the 5-day boot camp. I'm not sure if Lakeisha's still in here. She was actually a part of the 5-day boot camp. But in that boot camp, I go over the steps for you to start working as a virtual receptionist business, which is just a way to position yourself as a virtual call center and land clients very, very quickly. So in that bootcamp, I actually break it down, and so you can get direct clients that way also. Now it's different from recruiting. It's not thousands and thousands of dollars. You'll grow into that, but it does give you the option to go ahead and start onboarding clients outside of Arise and start to actually operate as a true virtual call center. And so that is listed in my Stand Store. I'll drop my Stand Store in here, and then you just scroll to the bottom where you see virtual call center options, and you will have access to that right there. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, so I hope everyone is following me. If you are following me, make a post, tag me, right? I want to hear your feedback. Um, I think I will leave this recording. I might share this recording. I have to look at it. I think this was a great class. I think this was an amazing class. I need to look at the recording though, because I had all types of stuff on my screen during the recording. So I need to see if the chat was showing, if all these other things were showing. And if not, then I'll go ahead and make this public. If you guys are like, I need to rewatch this again, I'll go ahead and share that too. And I'll just send out an email. So if you joined this from TikTok and you're not on my subscriber list, go ahead and jump on that subscriber list so you have access. Talaya, it's going to be on Go High Level. So we'll talk more about that inside of the chat, but it's going to be on Go High Level. And there is actually a link already in my Sandstorm for a 14-day free trial, but you don't have to start with that immediately, right? I like to, if I get a free trial, I'm taking advantage of every single day of that trial because I don't care how much money I make, I'm still frugal, and it's about how much money I keep. So I got other stuff to do. So I'll let you know when to actually start that once you get to a certain level inside of the training.
Hi, I have a question.
Okay.
This is Trinette, by the way. My question is the website. I did put it in the chat, but I don't know if I worded it right. You're creating websites for us. Is that what you're saying? Or you saying that we're gonna add this information to our own website?
Oh no, so I've already created it for you.
Okay, so I already have a website. So which it has the because I had a BA agency as well as the VCC as well as I did recruiting, but I was under the another recruiting. That's why I was asking you about the cold calling because that's what they wanted us to do, and I was like, I don't want to do that. Even though I paid for my training, I felt like cold calling is old. I need to be doing something different. And so that's why, I came to your training. But so I thought for some reason I just thought that I was gonna just take this information and then add it onto my website. But you already built a website for us. So what do I do?
And if you
Because I
still
already
want
paid
to, so what is what platform is your website hosted on?
on Wix and I paid
Oh
for
yeah,
it already
we're not
for a
using that.
year.
We're not using
Yeah.
it. We're not using it.
Okay.
Yep, you can trash it. Yep, we're not using it. The reason I say we're not using it is because Wix is just a website platform. So the reason I like Go High Level is it's the all-in-one software. So we are able to take payments. We're able to send out invoices. We're able to track our clients, track our customers, create
Oh,
like
they
host our
they
website.
have that option on Wix too, but I have my automation automatically set up like you were stating about the automation, and they do have it where you could do the orientation, everything like Zoho, but I had Zoho separate anyway. So that's why I was asking all those questions because I just really
So you
thought
have
it was
Zoho and then
together.
Wix. We don't
Yeah, I
need
have,
them. We
yeah.
just need one. We just need one. I'm all about,
Yeah, I
one
understand what you're
thing.
saying, combining everything. Wix has it, but
Yeah.
when I started out, I just started out with just the virtual call center only. And so I didn't use all of the services that Wix offered. But then, and I had started with Zoho because I heard a lot of good things about it in the Facebook group. But I use Wix only, but I do have Zoho, you understand? And everything is automated. So but I paid for my website for like a year and my domain for 2 years. So will we be using our own name to recruit or would it be under a company name?
You're gonna do both.
Oh, okay, okay. So I just
Yeah,
basically need to just switch, just don't worry about the website part, but I could still keep my LLC and everything, correct?
yeah, absolutely. In fact, I don't
Okay.
even want you to think too much about any of this until Monday.
Okay,
I
I'm a
want you to go.
Virgo, so
I don't want you
yeah,
to think about any of this
yeah.
until Monday. I want you to go and enjoy your holiday. Thank
Mm-hmm.
God in advance for what he's about to open up for you. And that's what I want you to do because you're about to
Okay.
get to work, right? So
Okay.
and we'll dive into more deep the difference because I started off with Wix. Like I used to be a Wix
Mm-hmm.
girly. Like I love Wix. Nobody could tell me nothing about them. And
Mm-hmm.
then I evolved. So I
Yeah.
get it, but I can tell you
No,
Wix
I
don't have
understand
nothing
what
on
you're
it or
saying.
go high level, right?
I understand
But
whatever you're telling us to do, I'm fine with it. I'm just asking because, like I said, I'm a Virgo, so you know how that is. Everything is like,
Yeah,
But
and listen, don't let the devil play with you this week. He's about to play with you. He's about to play with you. He's about to be like, because once we make an investment and we step out on faith, the devil gets busy, right? He starts implementing thoughts in our head. What if it doesn't work? I don't know if I can really afford this. Like he just starts doing stuff. Things start happening. You know, cars start messing up. Just random stuff will happen. Promise you. And it's always every time the devil starts playing with me, I'm like, oh, you know something I don't know. You know that I'm about to step into my purpose. You know that God has something for me. So I can't even pretend or play with you or entertain you right now. So this is just like a notice for everyone. After this call, if once you start taking action, just be okay with things going wrong. One of my mentees, she had to move her as soon as she moved unexpectedly. She got to her new home with the with her other side of her family, and someone died. And then something else happened, right? And guess what she still did? Showed up on every call. She still did the work. She landed her a dream candidate that's going to yield her 50K the moment that he's placed. And because he's going to be placed in a CEO role, right? So don't let rest. When I say rest and have fun and celebrate. Celebrate what God has for you and what you're about to tap into, and just do that. Everything else, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty and all of that. Don't overthink it. Don't try to figure it out. That's what I'm here for. We'll walk through it together. It's going to be a fun process. Be prepared to have fun and make money. This is not hard work. The hardest work is us becoming the better version of ourselves, right? So I want you guys to enjoy your holiday weekend. Enjoy it. And if I was to be honest with you all, I usually hate this holiday. My mother committed suicide during this holiday. And so I usually don't celebrate it. I was contemplating whether or not I even wanted to have coaching calls and trainings on this week of the holiday, because she passed away July 3rd, midnight, like going into July 4th. And so I typically don't even like speak to people. But God was like, we're not going to keep doing that. Right. And I was in the home when she did it. Like I was 12 years old. Like it plays in my head like it happened overnight. But guess what? Thank you so much. I appreciate the condolences. But guess what? The devil was still trying to play. He was trying to make me relive that same situation and stop me from having this training class with you all, stop me from giving this information. And I was like, no, this is happening. This is happening regardless, right? God was like, you're going to do this and you're going to schedule it for this day and you're going to be fine. And then you're going to go have fun on the holiday. And so I'm telling you guys to do the same thing. Go have fun, celebrate, get some rest, and come Sunday and Monday, charged up and ready to go. That's what I want you. That's what I want for you all. Thank you. So I really appreciate all of the prayers. I'm trying not to cry on here. I used to call myself like a thug or a gangster because I'm from the hood, right? But now I feel like I'm just an emotional thug. I'm always crying.
I have a question.
Okay, I think I got an answer.
Okay, so for the ones that cannot get your boot camp and everything, the ones just having to do it on their own and things like that. Like for my website, I did Canva, and it's not going as planned at all. Because it looks right on the computer, but it doesn't look right on the phone. I still have to set up automations. I still have to get do we even necessarily need the virtual address and everything like that as well? More of the story is I just feel like I'm so far behind, and it's driving me nuts, like crazy.
Okay.
So
Belinda, let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
Now that you have all this information, right? Where are we going? What are we choosing to do? Because what we choose to do is what's going to decide what we need.
So you referring to like if I'm going with a rise, or just trying to get the company, do the direct company myself? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, all of it. I want to know what's the plan. Now that we
Well,
have
I
your
was
information,
going with a
what's the plan?
rise, but looking at it, I'm gonna be honest with you. You shifted my whole attitude on it. So now I just want to go out there myself and try to get the companies myself. Because for one,
so let me tell you how to do this. Right?
Mhm.
Are you getting the 5-day boot camp?
Yes, I am going to get it.
Okay, so get the 5-day boot camp.
Mhm.
When you get the boot camp, you need to also you still need a website though. you're still going to need a website so that you can accept payments and market and stuff like that. Get the link and go high level, the 14-day free trial.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I'm going to do for everyone. If you're like, hey, I need thank Belinda if you're still on here. You're like, what is she about to offer? If you are someone who is like, yeah, I'm going to position myself as a virtual receptionist, I'm going to get the boot camp, I am going to, start marketing myself like that. Then once I see that you have done that purchase, I'll go ahead and send you a snapshot of a website for free, right? So I'm about to create this. I'm going to take my time out of my day and create this for you. I'm going to send you it, but you're going to have to get the system. You're going to need that system. You're going to need that software. So get the boot camp, get the 14-day free trial after you have completed the boot camp. Don't get it until you have completed the boot camp. And then I'm going to send you over the snapshot for a website, so you don't have to waste time on creating a website. You can just edit it. And that goes for everyone. If you get the boot camp, then I'll send you a snapshot of you have to get the boot camp and the software. The snapshot means nothing without the software. But that'll allow you to automate it. That'll allow you to go ahead and process payments, because you'll need to collect payments. It'll allow you to keep track of your clients, all of those things. And then if you're in the boot camp, this doesn't apply to you. You guys are going to have, we're doing something totally different, and you guys already have it. You're already going to have everything. But this is just for individuals who are like, I want to really dive into the virtual call center side, and I want to onboard direct clients that way, right? Meaning they still want to work from home. They want to offer work from home positions to agents still. That's who I'm speaking to with this bonus. Okay. All right, so we're gonna close out the call. Thank you, Belinda, for the bonus and the extra work that you just made me agree to. I really appreciate you so much.
Well, not just put it like that. It sounds good.
No. I'm invested in you guys, right? I want you guys to be amazing. I want you guys to have amazing results. And I know something that's easy for me. Like, I can make a website in like an hour. It's not a big deal. Someone else, it might take them days. You know what I mean? It might take them weeks. It might take them months.
It took me like 2 weeks, and I'm
Yeah.
still
See,
working on
so
it.
so it's not going to be, and also, to be honest with you, I could just have my assistant do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put my energy behind it, and I'm going to do it for you. But I just want you guys to know that, you know what I mean, I'm invested. I want you guys, and if you guys put in the hard work, if you invest in yourself, if you're serious and you show up, then I'll show up for you.
Okay, and just like to verify, you said when we do the 5-day training and everything, it's like we have to complete it, and then that's when the link that you sent about the website, we could and the software, that's when we could do that.
Yeah. So once you get the link and the software, send me an email, right? So you guys have emails from me. Just reply to the email like, hey, I was in a masterclass and I got the boot camp and I need the bonus. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Okay, so basically when I get there, I just throw my whole website away, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Don't get caught up on stuff that doesn't matter. That website don't matter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that website don't matter. I know that you put time into it. I know, I can tell that you're invested. You're like, I spent 2 weeks, I was learning stuff, I was changing fonts, I was doing colors, it's okay. We're going to elevate. It's okay. And you won't even have to do it. I'm going to do it for you. You guys are so welcome. Tiffany is not playing. I cannot with her. She said module 1 already done. Yes, Tawana, delayed but not denied. Delayed but not denied. Send me a message, a direct message. I don't care how it is, email, in one of the communities and TikTok, social media, whatever. Send me a direct message so we can get you in a boot camp. Okay, I love you all. I appreciate you spending your evening with me. I'm gonna go and, I don't know, sit at the beach for a while or something.
Quick question before you go.
Oh,
I'm
Miss
so
Lewis, I'm
sorry.
sorry. I saw your hand raised and I didn't know if you were if it was on accident or not. It's my fault. Go ahead, say your question.
No problem. So my question is, I have not formed my LLC yet because I'm kind of really new to business, But I was wondering, because I did sign up for the 12-week boot camp. So would you be helping us with that, or is there something else I need to sign up in order to get help with that?
No, so I will help you with that. And another bonus inside the bootcamp is you actually get my business credit blueprint ebook, and it walks you through all of the steps, including registering your business. So I will definitely help you with that. You don't have to even think about it. We'll get started on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
We're not doing anything this week. We're going to rest. Don't be like Tiffany. Tiffany is just she's too much sometimes. She said, no, I'm not waiting. I told her to rest. She doesn't listen. She doesn't rest. Tiffany found me on TikTok, guys. This is just a testimonial of sometimes you just need a little bit of information to take action. Tiffany found me on TikTok. She got on one of my lives. I told her what to do, and she immediately did it and launched her IBO business. And then she got on another live, asked me some questions. Immediately, when I tell you she had rapid success, like she never, like she just, as soon as I gave her information, she just did it. She just did it. And every single time she found success. Every single time. It's because action takers are money makers. That's the only reason, right? It's not because she is special. I'm not gonna say she's special, not special, or she's not smart. But most of the time, what is delaying your progress and you reaching your goals is you're not taking enough action. That's it. But I honestly want you guys to rest. And I honestly want you, because you're going to have like a whirlwind. Like this type of energy that I have right now, this is what you're going to have in a boot camp, and we are going to get to work. And please be on notice. I do call you out. I will not, if you are used to being mediocre and people taking your excuses, I will tell you when you are lying. I will tell you. I will say, do stop lying in my face. I will ask you what is the real reason behind it. We will talk about the fears we have behind certain things, right, that are stopping us. So it's not just that I'm calling you out, but I'm calling you out so we can address the real issue, the root issue. Because when we address the root issue, now that doesn't have to be a part of our story anymore, and now we can become the better version of ourselves. So just keep that in mind too, because I'm not one of those coaches who are just going to let you skim by. If you tell me I want this, I'm going to hold you to that. And you guys just told me you wanted this, so I'm holding you to it. I'm holding you to it. Your feet is on the fire. That's why I told y'all to rest. Y'all think I'm playing. I'm serious. Go have fun. Go have fun. Plus, money is made off of energy. It's made off of energy. So I want you guys to have fun. Don't think about this stuff. We'll talk about it. Don't try to figure anything out. You don't need anything to get started. You don't just know, hey, a new chapter is starting Sunday. Sunday starts a new week. You just know, hey, Sunday starting a new chapter. I'm gonna go party and enjoy you people, because you might not see me. You might not be a part of my journey. A lot of people didn't make it to this journey of my life. A lot of people in my business, in my personal life and my business life, were cut out because they didn't match my journey. They weren't matching my energy. They weren't going to contribute to my success. And so I had to cut them loose. So enjoy people, because you might have to cut some people loose. You might have to distance yourself, right? So go have fun. Literally. Have fun, enjoy them, enjoy your holiday, and we're going to get to work on Sunday. All right, I'm really leaving now this time. Okay, I'm really ending the chat. I know I said it 20 times, but we're really ending it now. You guys need to go to sleep. You guys need to go to sleep. I appreciate you all. I'm going to do some other mini trainings. I'll do some other mini trainings for you who all are like, I still want to get in recruiting. We'll do some mini trainings coming up. Just make sure you're on the subscribers list so you can get notified. See y'all later.